Putin has just told Iran's foreign minister as Iran fires another barrage of missiles at Israel.
We know that one projectile got through the missile defenses and struck about halfway between Tel Aviv here and the Gaza Strip. No reports of injuries, but there are reports of power outages.
Fox's Mike Tobin in Tel Aviv amid reports of Israeli strikes near Fordo, one of Iran's nuclear sites that the U.S. hit in weekend airstrikes. President Trump posted last night on Truth Social, monumental damage was done. Obliteration, with the biggest damage far below ground.
The Director General of the International Atomic Energy Agency says the enriched uranium was not destroyed in the U.S. strike on Iran because Iran moved it ahead of time. Speaking to the UN Security Council, Rafael Grossi continues to push for negotiation as a means of stopping Iran from getting a nuclear bomb.
We have a window of opportunity to return to dialogue and diplomacy.
Now, President Trump in another Truth Social post suggested a possible regime change in Iran, though Vice President Vance told NBC's Meet the Press.
What we've said to the Iranians is we do not want war with Iran. We actually want peace.
Adding the way to peace is eliminating Iran's nuclear program. Many Democrats in Congress oppose the president taking action in Iran. Senator Mark Kelly also tells Meet the Press.
What I think should have happened here, right up front, is him coming to Congress and asking for authorization to do this. That's the constitutional approach to this.
Millions of Americans are going to be hot today and or tomorrow. There are heat advisories or warnings from Wisconsin down to Louisiana, over to the Carolinas, all the way up to Maine, with temperatures that could set more records near or in triple digits in many areas. The NBA crowned a champion last night.
The Thunder have taken the NBA by storm. For the first time, the NBA champion resides in Oklahoma City.
The final call on ABC after OKC beat the Indiana Pacers 103-91 in Game 7 of the NBA Finals. America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
The season is over. Your radar is clear, and it's 76 degrees in downtown Indianapolis, going up to 96 today. We're in a heat advisory through tomorrow. I'm Ryan Hedrick. Here's what's trending at 6:02.
This was a great series. I'm so proud of our players. I'm so proud of our organization. Our fans showed up big time tonight.
Indiana Pacers head coach Rick Carlisle spoke after the team's season ended in Oklahoma, falling to the Thunder in Game 7 of the NBA Finals. Tyrese Halliburton went down early with an injury and never made it back.
What happened with Tyrese is just all of our hearts dropped. He authored one of the great individual playoff runs in the history of the NBA.
And the team hasn't said exactly what the injury is, but it's a leg issue, and Halliburton's father told ABC that's an Achilles injury. A woman and two men were shot this morning on Monument Circle. Here's Wish TV's Hernan Gutierrez with the latest.
Well, they are considered to be stable in the hospital, according to police right now. They responded to Monument Circle sometime just before 2 this morning. This is a picture of what the scene looks like now. Officers still kind of canvassing the area. All of Monument Circle pretty much is still closed to foot traffic and cars, of course. It shut down the circle for the Pacers game. 2 cars, as they expected lots of pedestrians to be out watching the game here in downtown. Because of the game, there were also more emergency responders out and were able to get to the scene.
And police said several people were detained, but they have not announced any arrests. Blistering heat is here in Indiana, and it's here to stay for a while.
We would recommend any work outside to be done earlier in the morning, not later in the afternoon when the temperatures will be 15 or 20 degrees higher.
Alex McGinnis at the National Weather Service.
Temperatures are not going to be getting so much close to 100 as, has happened in the past in Indiana. The bigger deal with this heat wave is going to be humidity, which will be marked by very warm mornings with low temperatures, in the mid-70s for several days in a row.
And McGinnis says just do your best to stay hydrated. I'm Ryan Hedrick, on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com. Traffic and weather together in 1 minute. It's 6:04.
Summer is here, and it's time to think about cleaning your carpets. But don't even think about renting one of those DIY units at the grocery store. Hi, this is Denny Smith for Zero Res, and right now, get 3 rooms of carpet cleaning starting at just $129 and $75 off air duct cleaning. That's the perfect way to refresh your home. Vacuuming is not sufficient to maintain the cleanliness and lifespan of your carpet. And please don't do it yourself with DIY, dirt-attracting, carpet-soaking machines. With those machines, there's no possible way to extract all of that dirty water out of the carpet, and it'll probably leave a nice layer of mud under the carpet. At Zero Res, there's a reason they have 4,900 plus 5-star Google reviews. So just call Zero Res with their patented ZR water that cleans with no soaps, no residue, and no harsh chemicals. Just fresher carpets and cleaner air for your family. Call now, mention WIBC, get 3 rooms cleaned starting at just $129 plus $75 off the air duct cleaning. 317-388-5141 or ZeroResIndy.com.
All right, a crash in Lawrence, northbound 465 at East 71st Street. The right lane is blocked. A little bit of a slowdown, no delay at the moment. Traffic sponsored by the International Hot Rod Association. Nitro's back. The IHRA Outlaw Nitro Series is lighting up the track. Grab your tickets for Columbus, July 9th through the 12th at IHRA.com. That's IHRA.com. I'm Matt Bear on the 5s at WIBC Traffic.
Marcus Bailey, Wish TV meteorologist. What's happening?
Hey, Tony. Good morning. On this Monday, we have a heat advisory. That's going to continue now until late Friday. Will be sunny, hot, and humid today. A high of 96. Feels like temperatures between 100 and 105. Tonight, mostly clear. Extremely muggy and warm, a low down to 75. We'll do it again Tuesday. Mostly sunny, hot, and humid. There could be a few scattered thunderstorms, mainly north of Indianapolis, late in the day. Tuesday's high 95. Wednesday, sunny, hot, and humid with a few spotty afternoon storms, and highs again into the mid-90s.
That's just awful, man.
It is terrible. Not fun.
I'm just saying, it's this humid all week?
Yes, all week long. I think probably even into the weekend, but the one thing that may help us this weekend is we might actually have some rain chances to bring the temperatures down. But it's going to be pretty muggy at least until early next week.
Marcus Bailey, Wish TV meteorologist. Appreciate it, my friend.
Yep.
71 degrees in the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. The time is 6:07. The Thunder 103, the Pacers 91. And so it goes. The Halliburton injury in the first quarter after hitting 3 of 4 three-pointers. The Pacers may not be saying what it is. Sickeningly, ESPN showed that clip a lot. It's an Achilles. It is what it is. And T.J. McConnell is the guy you thought he was. But it was not enough. The team's going to come home, and they're going to get our cheers, and we'll be back at it. It really did make the city feel good. I mean, it did. I don't think there's any denying it. I think to deny it is actually kind of silly. Man, that was fun. Not the results. I mean, we would do a parade really, really well. But things don't always work out the way you want. In no situation should it involve a shooting on the Circle. 3 people injured from a shooting that took place near 2 a.m. Officers working the crowd, according to our news gathering partners at Wish TV, near Gamebridge Fieldhouse. I don't know the circumstances. I don't know if these are people not celebrating, not winning the finals. If this was that kind of thing, I want to know. 2 adult males, 1 adult female with gunshot wounds. All 3 victims taken to a hospital in stable condition. Multiple shell casings on Monument Circle, and 1 firearm was recovered. Maybe we could, I don't know, celebrate or not celebrate without shooting somebody. That would always be spectacular. But if this was one of those kinds of things, well, we lost, so we got angry, and even if it wasn't, could we get just a better class of people? Could we? I don't know who these people are. I don't know if they're white. I don't know if they're black. I don't know if they're Asian. I don't know if they're Hispanic. I don't know if they're Jewish, Christian, Muslim, gay, straight. Don't care. Just stop, I think, is the best bit of advice we've got. Good Lord. Everyone already feels down. Don't make them wake up to 3 people being shot. No one needs to get shot. And I take that back. There are times people need to be shot. You think this was one of them? It's just like the perfect capper. Everyone feels terrible. They feel terrible for Halliburton. They feel terrible for the team. And then you wake up, oh, yeah, another 3 people shot in the circle. Well, that's just Indy. It's a crap way to wake up. Indy should do better. And as for the Pacers, thanks for some great fun. Back at it next year. The fans will be there. Tony Katz, 93 WIBC. Good morning.
This is Gary Dick. The economic impact of the Pacers' playoff run, plus ag producers show optimism, and Purdue makes a global list at 6:32 Inside Indiana Business.
It's one thing to save for retirement. It's another thing to feel ready for it. Trajan Wealth helped me build a real plan, a customized, tailor-made portfolio with less guesswork and more peace of mind. Matt Bear here. Hey, happy Monday. Jeff in the downtown office is my guy. He explained everything, gave me options, and never once tried to sell me something I didn't need. No pressure. I'm a Trajan client now, and I couldn't be happier. Call Trajan Wealth today and set your first appointment. It's free, 317-480-4040, or go to TrajanWealth.com. Here's what's cool about Trajan. They really took the time to get to know me. It wasn't like, here are a bunch of stocks to buy, or here's this month's IRA we're pushing. They listened. They responded with a portfolio that's tailored to my visions of life after work. Call today and learn more. 317-480-4040 or visit TrajanWealth.com. Remember, your first appointment is on them. Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor. Paid advertisement.
PA Jewelers at the Farmhouse is now open and ready to serve you. Whether you're buying jewelry or selling jewelry, PA Jewelers has got you covered. One-of-a-kind pieces, vintage pieces. Make an appointment, sit down with them in the buy room, and find out how you can get that special piece made just for you. Easy to get to in Brownsburg. See everything they have to offer in a no-pressure environment. PA Jewelers at the Farmhouse, now open in Brownsburg. 317-456-4010. That's 456-4010. Or online at pajewelers.jewelry. pajewelers.jewelry.
Garage door problems? Call today for service today. Garage Doors of Indianapolis services all makes of garage doors 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Call today for service today. 875-4577. Call today for service today. Get it fixed right now. Call Garage Doors of Indianapolis at 875-4577 or visit doorstoday.com.
In the morning, call 875-4577. Service today. Today.
Your home is your sanctuary. Get the peace of mind you deserve with a free estimate on a Generac automatic standby generator for your home from Generator Supercenter, the nation's #1 Generac generator dealer. With expert installation and 24-hour monitoring, Generator Supercenter won't leave you in the dark. Financing is available. Take control of your power today with Generator Supercenter. Call 317-827-0808. Generator Supercenter of Indianapolis, 317-827-0808.
Febreze. As a rideshare driver, I love keeping my car smelling fresh and clean. So when I'm driving, I only trust Febreze car vent clips, featuring 3 distinct intensity settings, because it's that little touch that sets me apart. I can turn the intensity down for subtle freshness, or I can turn it up for when I want lots of scent. So whether it's set to low, medium, or high, with Febreze car, I know my car's going to smell amazing. Which keeps my driver rating right where it belongs. Picking up, Oscar!
When you golf in Missouri, the courses are so close, you'll spend more time on the fairway than the freeway. After the back nine, enjoy world-class dining and distilleries, shops, spas, museums, and more. Find your new Golf MO at visitmo.com.
Inside Indiana Business Radio, the news you need to get ahead. Indiana's business news leader, weekdays at 6:32 a.m. and 5:56 p.m. on WIBC.
Traffic on the fives. Matt Bear in the WIBC Traffic Center. What's happening?
Yeah, Tony, looking at the northeast side, northbound 465 at East 71st Street. That's a stall blocking the right lane. No delay here at the moment. And checking out northbound 65 coming up through the construction zone. That looks fine from Raymond Street on up to the south split. Those southbound lanes, we had the closure over the weekend that has been lifted, so southbound 65 is good to go from the south split down to 465. Again, that's a construction zone, a narrow one at that. Please be safe. Traffic sponsored by Progressive Insurance. A word from Progressive Insurance. Life can be hard, so Progressive makes bundling your home and auto easy. Hope that helps. Learn more at Progressive.com or 1-800-PROGRESSIVE. I'm Matt Bear on the fives at WIBC Traffic.
71 degrees in the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. The time is 6:16. It was an attack that took place in a world where you can't actually get away with covert.
Massive precision strikes on the three key nuclear facilities in the Iranian regime, Fordow, Natanz, and Esfahan. Everybody heard those names for years as they built this horribly destructive enterprise. Our objective was the destruction of Iran's nuclear enrichment capacity and a stop to the nuclear threat posed by the world's #1 state sponsor of terror.
Tony Katz, 93 WIBC. Good morning. Good to be with you. That's what Iran is, and that's what Democrats are cheering today. Now, for Democrats, it's not all. But, man, it's a lot. And since you can call out the people not cheering Iran by name, we'll just call it the Democratic Party. Fantastic strategy for 2026. Be supportive of Iran. Well, Trump didn't notify Congress, and this was unconstitutional. First, absolutely constitutional. Secondly, Hakeem Jeffries was notified. He said he wasn't. He was lying. And Chuck Schumer was notified as well. Phone calls came from the White House to let them know. I do not believe there is anything that would state in this situation that the Gang of Eight, the leadership, Republicans and Democrats, would have to be told about such a thing. Considering this was about, this was about being clandestine. That's what took place here in these bombs dropped on these three nuclear enrichment sites. This was about the fake out. But let's start with the place we have to start, because we said something from the beginning, because we listen better. Trump did not say in 2 weeks when he said, I'll make a decision in 2 weeks. He said, I'll make a decision within 2 weeks. That was the statement put out by the White House press secretary. We played it live on Tony Katz today. We reviewed it. She said within 2 weeks. And we said anything is possible. It could be in 2 hours or 2 days. Yeah, we were pretty close with that 2 days thing right there. Well done. Trump always speaks the way he speaks. And by the way, his words didn't matter. What mattered is what happened. And what happened was the attempt to completely disable, end the nuclear capability of Iran. This was a tremendous amount of misdirection. There was a tremendous number of decoys used, including the talk that we were sending the B-2 bombers to Guam. That never happened. That was about saying, hey, look where these planes are flying. Ooh, pretty planes. And planes were going in the other direction. And if you don't know the whole story, they took off from the airbase in Missouri. These planes, this was Whiteman Air Force Base, these planes flew for 18 hours to get to their target. This was the statement Sunday morning, this taking place Saturday evening, our local time. The statement Sunday morning from the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, Dan Kane, General Dan Kane.
At midnight Friday into Saturday morning, a large B-2 strike package comprised of bombers launched from the continental United States. As part of a plan to maintain tactical surprise, part of the package proceeded to the west and into the Pacific as a decoy, a deception effort known only to an extremely small number of planners and key leaders here in Washington and in Tampa. The main strike package, comprised of 7 B-2 Spirit bombers, each with 2 crew members, proceeded quietly to the east with minimal communications. Throughout the 18-hour flight into the target area, the aircraft completed multiple in-flight refuelings. Once over land, the B-2s linked up with escort and support aircraft in a complex, tightly timed maneuver requiring exact synchronization across multiple platforms in a narrow piece of airspace, all done with minimal communications. This type of integration is exactly what our joint force does better than anyone else in the world. At approximately 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time last night, and just prior to the strike package entering Iran, a U.S. submarine in the Central Command Area of Responsibility launched more than 24 Tomahawk land attack cruise missiles against key surface infrastructure targets at Esfahan. As the Operation Midnight Hammer strike package entered Iranian airspace, the U.S. employed several deception tactics, including decoys, as the 4th and 5th generation aircraft pushed out in front of the strike package at high altitude and high speed, sweeping in front of the package for enemy fighters and surface-to-air missile threats. The strike package was supported by U.S. Strategic Command, U.S. Transportation Command, U.S. Cyber Command, U.S. Space Command, U.S. Space Force, and U.S. European Command. As the strike package approached Fordo and Natanz, the U.S. protection package employed high-speed suppression weapons to ensure safe passage of the strike package, with fighter assets employing preemptive suppressing fires against any potential Iranian surface-to-air threats.
Now, this is where it gets beyond. It's already an amazing operation. And you will have heard people over the weekend, if you haven't already, discuss the fact that there were no leaks. No one hinted that this was coming. The security, and this has been commented on by the political right and the political left up and down the line. The secrecy of this is what is most stunning. So clearly, a lot of those firings in the Defense Department and other places worked. Look what happens when you get rid of the leakers. The anti-American leakers. That might be top line. But hearing this from General Kane, that the bombers got in, dropped their payload, and got out without a single missile or shot being fired by the Iranians.
We are currently unaware of any shots fired at the U.S. strike package on the way in. At approximately 6:40 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 2:10 a.m. Iran time, the lead B-2 dropped 2 GBU-57 massive ordnance penetrator weapons on the first of several aim points at Fordo. As the president stated last night, the remaining bombers then hit their targets as well, with a total of 14 MOPs dropped against 2 nuclear target areas. All 3 Iranian nuclear infrastructure targets were struck between 6:40 p.m. and 7:05 p.m. Eastern Time. Again, that's about 2:10 in the morning local time in Iran, with the Tomahawk missiles being the last to strike at Esfahan to ensure we retain the element of surprise throughout the operation.
14 MOPS, MOP, massive ordnance penetrators. These are the bunker busters. That's a lot of bunker busters. This is the largest B-2 operation, MOP operation in history. The Tomahawks against Esfahan, sorry. There's going to be a question as we get more data coming in about how much damage was done. But this operation is stunning in its scope, in its capability, in the ability of the United States, in the projection of power. It's not just Iran that watched this happen. It's everybody else. Because if China knew it was happening, they either chose not to tell Iran or they didn't know. Now, the question is, what is the value of the strike? Well, this is where people want to get political. First, we'll discuss value. Then we'll get into politics. Right now, Matt Baer has traffic. What's up, Matthew?
Stall cleared on the northeast side. That's northbound 465 at East 71st Street. That construction zone up there, clear path, that's supposed to be done at the end of the year. Looks pretty good so far as we make our way northbound 465 after East 56th Street up to Allisonville Road. Traffic sponsored by B Window. Right now, B Window is extending their employee discount to you. Get 55% off all products and services, plus 18 months, no interest or payments. Trust a local, trust employee owned, trust your home to bwindow.com. I'm Matt Baer on the 5s at WIBC Traffic.
Rob.
And this is Casey.
Did Barron Trump earn $40 million from his dad's crypto venture?
Join us Monday, 9 until noon on 93 WIBC.
Applied Innovation customer Alicia Staley, office manager for McEnany Roofing, has reduced dependency on paper with a document management solution from Applied Innovation.
So it makes looking for documents pretty much effortless.
With this paperless solution and improved workflow, you recommend Applied Innovation?
Oh, yes. I like to talk to a lot of different people. I'm the social butterfly, so as much as I can spread how wonderful they are, I definitely do. And I've never had such prompt customer service and care like this with any other company.
Your slogan, innovative solution since 1985, is perfect for your Applied Innovation partnership.
There's a lot of benefits. I have to say, number one, definitely a great partnership. Two, financial-wise, we have saved a lot of money by signing up with Applied Innovation.
Start your partnership and save money. Call Applied Innovation today, 800-521-0983, or visit appliedinnovation.com.
Sometimes an identity threat is a ring of professional hackers. And sometimes it's an overworked accountant who forgot to encrypt their connection while sending bank details.
I need a coffee.
And you need LifeLock, because your info is in endless places. It only takes one mistake to expose you to identity theft. LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points a second. If your identity is stolen, we'll fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
Trump country is booming. We're building, hiring, and winning in Indiana because energy tax credits put America first, bringing manufacturing jobs home and creating a stronger middle class.
Jobs and factories will come roaring back into our country. More production at home will mean stronger competition and lower prices for consumers.
And America's comeback depends on American energy. Senator Young, keep what works. Don't repeal energy tax credits. Paid for by Built for America.
It's the first day of the first grade, and she found a new best friend. It's a laid-back Sunday afternoon you wish would never end. The homemade taste of Bluebell and good friends gathered round. The good old days are being made right now.
You'll be one smart cookie when you try Bluebell Cookie Cake Ice Cream. A sweet cream ice cream loaded with chocolate chip cookie cake pieces and swirls of chocolate and vanilla icing. This cookie cake ice cream really takes the cake.
The good old days are being made right now. The good old days are being made right now.
Look for Bluebell Ice Cream at your local grocer and pick up your favorite flavor today.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
A warning to Americans. Your radar is clear at 76 degrees in downtown Indianapolis, going up to 96 today. It's going to be miserably hot. I'll have more on the weather in a minute. I'm Ryan Hedrick. Here's what's trending at 6:30. The State Department is issuing an alert for the next 3 months to Americans to be cautious worldwide.
They released a statement saying, quote, the conflict between Israel and Iran has resulted in disruptions to travel and periodic closures of airspace all across the Middle East. There is potential for demonstrations against U.S. citizens and interests abroad. So this comes as the threat of terrorist groups, lone actor terrorists, and other violent extremists plan possible attacks.
That's Fox's Ashley Strohmeyer reporting. The Supreme Court could be entering its final week of this term with several major opinions still announced.
Among those, a challenge to President Trump's executive order that would deny birthright citizenship to children born in the U.S. to parents in the country illegally. A First Amendment case over a Texas law requiring age verification for websites with adult content is also yet to be resolved, along with a challenge to a Maryland school district from parents who want to opt out their children from reading some books about same-sex relationships and gender identity.
That's Fox's Jared Halpern reporting in Washington, D.C. this morning. Get ready for some serious heat this week. Most of the work week will bring very hot temperatures. Alex McGinnis is a forecaster at the National Weather Service, Indianapolis. He says when a heat advisory is in effect, people should watch out for things like heavy sweating, nausea, dizziness, and feeling extra thirsty.
If you find yourself in any symptoms like that, you want to move to a cooler area. You want to wear loose clothing. You always want to have cool water, hydration, drink fluids earlier in the day, even if you're not thirsty, just to hedge your bets.
And there is a chance for rain this week, albeit not a very good chance. I'm Ryan Hedrick on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com. Traffic, weather, and sports together in 3 minutes. It's 6:32.
This is Inside Indiana Business Radio. I'm Gary Dick. The Indiana Pacers' unexpected playoff run has provided a welcome boost to the regional economy. According to Visit Indy, downtown hotel rates commanded a 34% higher rate on game nights during the playoffs than the U.S. average. Visits to downtown attractions up 14%. And there were more than 300,000 national and international stories about the Pacers and Indy, resulting in $6 billion in brand-building media coverage.
And that's invaluable from a Visit Indy perspective as we look to brand and market Indianapolis as a place to visit, as a place that you want to come and do business, and you just keep hearing about Indy, and the Pacers in a positive way with beautiful shots coming in and out of commercials. Invaluable when you're looking to boost the reputation and the brand of our city.
Agriculture producers across the United States are continuing to express optimism over the state of the ag economy. And according to the latest Purdue University CME Group Ag Economy Barometer, that barometer is calculated monthly from a telephone survey of 400 producers across the country. It rose 10 points in May, its highest reading since May of 2021. London-based higher education website QS is out with its 2026 World University Rankings, and one Indiana institution is in the top 100. Purdue University made the cut at number 88 and is also among the top 10 for public universities in the nation. The global list is led by MIT, and you can see the complete list at InsideIndianaBusiness.com. You're listening to Inside Indiana Business Radio.
Today, you either innovate or evaporate. We are accelerating the pursuit of progress, from the foods we eat to the heights we soar, because this is Indiana, the innovation capital of the world. We rally visionaries across industries, invest in connections as much as capital, and fuel our founders from dorm room to boardroom. Fuel your innovation with Elevate Ventures. Visit elevateventures.com.
Indiana's economy is on the move, and every region has a role to play. Join IBJ Media and Inside Indiana Business for the Innovate Indiana series, presented by Indiana University and Old National Bank. We're traveling to 10 regions across the state to spotlight business growth, workforce development, innovation, and Indiana's tech hubs. Don't miss this front row look at Indiana's future and the growth opportunities in your region. Find out when we'll be in your area at ibj.com/innovate. Columbus Regional Health has announced that Tanya Hand will serve as the new president of the Columbus Regional Health Foundation. Hand will succeed Julie Abedian, who is retiring from the foundation. Hand has held fundraising leadership roles for the past 17 years, most recently serving as Chief Development Officer for the Indiana State Museum and Historic Sites. This is Gary Dick for 93 WIBC.
All right, we have a crash reported on the south side at Southport Road west of I-65. Northbound 65 slows from South Keystone Avenue up to the south split because of construction. Traffic sponsored by B Window. Right now, B Window is extending their employee discount to you. Get 55% off all products and services, plus 18 months, no interest or payments. Trust a local, trust employee owned. Trust your home to bwindow.com. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
71 degrees in the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. The time is 6:36. We check on sports. Ryan Hedrick, not the results we wanted.
Not at all, Tony. Last night in Game 7 of the NBA Finals, the Indiana Pacers came out hot. Tyrese Halliburton was rolling, and then everything changed.
Topping out of the near corner. Up top, Halliburton falls down, turns it over, and this will lead to Gilgeous-Alexander to the other end, where he sends it to Williams for a dunk. And Halliburton is face down in the Indiana offensive end. The trainer, Josh Corbeil, rushes out to take a look.
Mark Boyle on the Elevance Health Radio Network. Halliburton done for the night. The Oklahoma City Thunder took full advantage, beating the Pacers 103-91 to capture the title. After the game, Pacers head coach Rick Carlisle talked about this season and everything Halliburton accomplished.
He authored one of the great individual playoff runs in the history of the NBA with dramatic play after dramatic play. It was just something that no one's ever seen.
We're not exactly sure what the injury is, but Halliburton's dad told ABC's Lisa Salters that it's an Achilles injury. I'm Ryan Hedrick on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com.
Trust employee owned. B Windows extending our employee discount to you. Up to 55% off, plus 18 months, no interest, no payments. Trust your home to B.
Hey, Trump. Where you going with that gun in your hand?
I do like it when we play the greatest hits of Hank Johnson.
Hey, Trump.
This is a member of Congress. Hank Johnson, the same Hank Johnson who famously told you that he was concerned that if you had too many soldiers on Guam, it would capsize.
Shoot down democracy. You know I want to be a king someday.
Swear to you, this happened. This, according to sources, is a grown man.
I'm going down and shoot democracy down. You know I want to be the king someday.
All right, drop that. Let us talk about worthy musicians. And that is Carol Kay, who has stated that she is not interested in being a part of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And I hope that she reconsiders. Because Carol Kay is responsible for the music we listen to. Carol Kay is part of something. I didn't know she hated the name. She's part of the Wrecking Crew. The Wrecking Crew was a group of studio artists really a little bit in the late 50s, but 60s and 70s. It was her. It was Glenn Campbell. Yes, that Glenn Campbell. It was Tommy Tedesco on guitar. Hal Blaine. They played the music on basically every hit you could possibly think of. And Carol Kay, woman, yes, Carol, what didn't she play bass on? I have in front of me her discography. And if I'm not going through it, I'm going through it alphabetically, not chronologically. California Girls, Beach Boys, was her. The Batman theme, that was her. Donkashane, Wayne Newton, come on. Freak Out, the Mothers of Invention. Feeling All Right, Joe Cocker. It goes on for forever. She's it. She played bass on all of Pet Sounds for the Beach Boys. That's Carol Kay. And I don't know why she has chosen this, that she doesn't want to be a part of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Oh, good Lord, I hope she reconsiders. She gave us music. If you've not seen the documentary about the Wrecking Crew, I don't know if it's Netflix or Amazon or one of the others, Hulu. Find it, watch it. It's fantastic, absolutely fantastic. There is no one. There are no musicians today, no rappers today, no anybody who doesn't trace it back to what these guys did in the studio and what she was playing. I hope she changes her mind. Tony Katz, 93 WIBC. That's me, by the way. That's the show. Good morning to you.
Hammer and Nigel.
Big, beautiful bill. It's big. It's a bill. We're going to grow this economy. We're going to spend some money. But you got to spend money to make money.
Does anybody trust the government, Republicans or Democrats, to get it right and do that? But if this were Democrats pushing through another $5 trillion, we'd say, what the hell are you doing? If you don't stop the spending, we're going to run out of money.
Hammer and Nigel, weekdays 3 till 7 on 93 WIBC and WIBC.com.
Masters Heating and Cooling is ready to keep you cool, and man, temperatures are going to be high, and humidity is going to be high. Can your system keep up? Call Masters Heating and Cooling today. I have worked with Masters literally for years. They have replaced parts of my system. They have taken care of my system. David, the general manager, that entire team, doing great work. They're all local. They're all right here in central Indiana, and they have got great deals on new systems for you, for your family, and even for your business. Masters Heating and Cooling also offers very flexible financing options, so you can get that new HVAC system going and make sure your family is cool this summer, and it's already crazy hot out there. And Masters Heating and Cooling has 24-hour emergency services available, ready for you. Talk to Masters Heating and Cooling about your cooling system, about your heat as you start thinking about the winter. Masters Heating and Cooling. Call 317-567-9505. Tell them Tony Katz sent you. 317-567-9505. Or go online to mastersindy.com. 567-9505 or online at mastersindy.com.
Hey, it's Mike Rowe, and if you want to do business with a company that actually stands for something, switch to Pure Talk. I did. Sure, I appreciate being on America's most dependable 5G network with unlimited talk and text for just $20 a month. But what I really appreciate is Pure Talk's commitment to our military and to our skilled workforce. That matters to me. Save 50% off your first month when you dial pound 250 and say keyword Mike Rowe. Pure Talk, a wireless company that actually stands for something.
Traffic on the 5s. Matthew Bear, what's going on?
Crash south side, Southport Road west of I-65, and a slowdown on the south side through the construction northbound 65 through Keystone Avenue up to 465, lanes reduced because of construction until the end of next year. Traffic sponsored by B Window. Right now, B Window is extending their employee discount to you. Get 55% off all products and services, plus 18 months, no interest or payments. Trust a local, trust employee owned, trust your home to bwindow.com. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
71 degrees in the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. The time is 6:45.
The news everyone's talking about, you'll find it at WIBC.com. The latest from City Hall, the White House, or the State House. Updated all day. Don't miss what matters. Stay in the know while you're on the go at WIBC and WIBC.com.
By now, you've heard about IndianaUnclaimed.gov. It's a way to claim your unclaimed property from the Indiana Attorney General's Unclaimed Property Division. It's not a scam. It's not houses, boats, cars, or storage facilities. It isn't free money. So what exactly is it? It's your money. It belongs to you, and it's waiting for you to claim it. It's money from unclaimed wages or commissions, forgotten bank accounts, underlying shares, refunds, insurance proceeds, stock dividends, safe deposit box contents, overpayments, certificates of deposit, money orders, and more. The Indiana Attorney General's Unclaimed Property Division safeguards those funds while trying to locate and return those funds to the owner or heir. It's your money, you deserve it, and the Attorney General's office wants to make sure you get it. The Attorney General's Unclaimed Property Division has over $800 million just waiting to be claimed. Text Tony Katz to 46220. That's Tony Katz to 46220. Or visit IndianaUnclaimed.gov to claim yours today.
I've got you.
So I've got much more on the strike that took place in Iran. The why it happened, the what comes from it, and of course, the political fallout, which is ever predictable and always boring. There were two rallies that took place the next day, one in Broad Ripple, one in Indianapolis. The Broad Ripple one I knew about. Tony Katz, 93 WIBC, good morning. Good to be with you. This was people who support Israel, people who support the United States, and people who support the Iranian people. Coming out and saying not only, this was scheduled before the actual raid took place from President Trump, hitting the 3 nuclear enrichment sites in Iran, saying that we support the people and absolutely supporting them in wanting to have a better life, which means a life without the Ayatollah. Over there on the Circle, it was this group of communists called Answer saying we shouldn't be having war. The progressives, the Marxists, to which we have far too many in Indianapolis, they support Iran. Because what they really support is anything that isn't the United States. And you saw this in Times Square. You see this now bubbling up. Everything they do is based on not supporting the United States. If you want to know who the enemy is, it's these people. They want to tear it down. I'm not saying they don't have, as Americans, the right to protest, but understand what it is they're doing. They're not engaged in protest. They believe in the total destruction of the U.S. Answer and these people want to make another claim, I'd laugh them out of the room. Just factual, just where the data is. And as for this attack, what is the concern about sleeper cells? Because we heard this news that there is 1,000% of concern that sleeper cells could be activated. NBC News, amongst others. Iran sent a communique to Trump in the days before last night's strikes, meaning Saturday night strikes, on its nuclear facilities, threatening to activate sleeper cell terror inside the United States if it were attacked, which is just a reminder that Iran supports terrorism. And the people right now supporting the Iranian regime support terrorism against the United States. The end. Oh, there's also something nutty that's going on. I saw this from Robert Evans, good guy, here in Indianapolis, talking about Matt McNally. Matt McNally is a Democrat. He has run for office before, not my guy. Has said some things on social media that are just kooky. Who hasn't? So the lieutenant governor, Micah Beckwith, has an image of Trump when he was giving the address to the nation. He's followed by the vice president, J.D. Vance, followed by the Secretary of State and National Security Advisor, Marco Rubio, and followed by the Defense Secretary, Pete Hegseth. And they were standing behind him as the president delivered this message. And Beckwith posted, "Strong men, what our nation has been lacking the last 4 years, not anymore," which is accurate. We all understand that Kamala Harris, it's not that she may have decided differently if she was president to do this. She could not have done this. She just couldn't have. The progressive left could not have done this. That's the belief. Matt McNally responds by saying, "Bone Spurs says what?" That's a conversation about Trump and not being in the draft because of Bone Spurs. "Chicken hawks are the worst. They're too chicken to join, but have no problem sending other kids to war." Matt McNally, we don't know each other. Let me answer this to you. You're always sending somebody else's kid to war. What? This is a non-argument, and I don't listen to this from anybody. If you want to talk tough about the military, why don't you serve? Because I didn't serve, and man, let me tell you, back in the day, the military would not have taken me. No, I didn't have it. It took a while for me to have it. That's my story. But my God, you're always sending somebody else's kid to go do it. That's the way it works. Are you purposefully ignorant, or is this just some kind of game you play, some tough guy game to keep other people silent? I didn't serve. I'll say anything I damn well want. What's your problem? My God, what did you serve for if it wasn't for me to say anything I damn well want? Do you understand how ridiculous you sound? There are many places and in many situations where the lieutenant governor of Indiana, Micah Beckwith, is just wrong. And he hasn't proven himself to be a great lieutenant governor. He's proven himself to be like every other lieutenant governor. Oh, and Micah, you don't need a $90,000 vehicle, lieutenant governor. Embarrassing, and you should be ashamed of yourself. He can't notice strong leadership because Matt McNally, you say so? Sit down, Matt McNally. Man can say anything he wants. Unless you put on the uniform, you don't have a right to say, of course you do. That's the whole point. And you sound like a moron, Matt McNally. Don't be... Wait a second. I can't stop you from being a moron, but could you at least sound less like one when you make statements like this? You're always sending somebody else's kid. And it's why we should do things well and efficiently and effectively and not at the spur of the moment, but for purpose and with a plan and with solid execution and with no leaks to offer the maximum amount of protection for our service members and the maximum amount of destruction to our enemies, which is what took place Saturday night, which is why the lieutenant governor said what he said. He's right. You're wrong. Matt McNally, how much work do you have to do to speak up against the lieutenant governor and be wrong? And the answer is, you did a lot of work. Stop saying things like this. You sound ridiculous. Anybody can have a comment about military anything, anytime they choose. No matter what Matt McNally of the Democratic Party says. He decides nothing on this subject. You're a grown-up. You have thoughts. You want to share them. feel free. Matt Bear has traffic. What's up, Matthew?
Northbound 65 on the south side, slow from South Keystone Avenue up to the south split because of road construction. A crash on the south side, Southport Road west of I-65. Taking a look at northbound 65 right now. It's actually on the ramp from northbound 465 to northbound 65 on the northwest side. Stop and go traffic right now as you make your exit and head up to Lebanon or Chicago, wherever you might be going here this morning. Westbound 70 looking pretty good into downtown from the east side. Traffic sponsored by B Window. Right now, B Window is extending their employee discount to you. Get 55% off all products and services, plus 18 months, no interest or payments. Trust local, trust employee owned, trust your home to bwindow.com. I'm Matt Bear on the 5s at WIBC Traffic.
Indiana law provides legislators with certain immunities from civil arrest during specific periods.
Facts on the table.
What year is this? 1872?
Feelings to the side.
They have to have a special law so that they don't go off the deep end.
And whatever nonsense needs calling out.
But yet, trust them when they say they're looking out for your best interest.
Kendall and Casey.
These people are on the up and up when it comes to voting for us.
Weekdays from 9 till noon on 93 WIBC.
Attention. If you suffer from consistent pain in your joints caused by arthritis, overuse, or injury, you may be a candidate for a revolutionary therapy that could revitalize damaged tissue. This approach can provide long-lasting relief from pain in your knees, shoulders, hips, and other joints with no surgery, no drugs, and no downtime. To find out if you're a viable candidate, you may request a free consultation from QC Kinetics by calling 463-251-1912. Instead of masking the symptoms, it goes to the root of the problem to resolve it at its source. Already used by thousands of satisfied patients nationwide, this joint pain therapy is available right now to the public, but only for qualified candidates. Again, to find out if you're a viable candidate for this therapy, you may request a free consultation by calling QC Kinetics at 463-251-1912. That's 463-251-1912.
Real stories with Hellsberg.
After we met and we started dating, Nancy and I lived 150 miles apart, and I would drive my old jalopy car, and it was roughly a 3-hour distance. It took 3 years I drove across that state back and forth dating her every weekend.
Persistence.
And I would have never stopped. I had a lot of energy back then, 36 years ago.
At Hellsberg, find the engagement ring worthy of your story. Designed with the love, care, and craft it deserves. Visit a Hellsberg store or hellsberg.com.
Hi, this is Chris Cox, owner of Chimney Solutions, Indiana. We're celebrating our 10th year in business. Call this month to take advantage of 10% off all chimney sweeps and inspections. We're also celebrating the opening of our new fireplace showroom on 86th Street and Lafayette Road. Come and experience our exclusive lines of wood-burning and gas fireplaces.
Call 317-557-6979 or chimneyindy.com.
Summertime's here, so get a hot summertime deal at Tom Roush Lincoln. Get Lincoln's employee pricing on most all new Lincolns. Get up to $20,000 off select 2024 Navigators. Up to $8,000 off select 2024 Lincoln Nautilus. Come and see why the Roush family has served the community for over 53 years at Tom Roush Lincoln.
Navigator MSRP $105,195. Nautilus MSRP $60,195. 2025 Navigators excluded from employee pricing. Subject to credit approval. See dealer for complete offer details.
Trump country is booming. We're building, hiring, and winning in Indiana because energy tax credits put America first, bringing manufacturing jobs home and creating a stronger middle class.
Jobs and factories will come roaring back into our country. More production at home will mean stronger competition and lower prices for consumers.
And America's comeback depends on American energy. Senator Young, keep what works. Don't repeal energy tax credits. Paid for by Built for America.
Hammer and Nigel.
Big, beautiful bill. It's big, and it's a bill. We're going to grow this economy. We're going to spend some money. But you got to spend money to make money.
Does anybody trust the government, Republicans or Democrats, to get it right and do that? But if this were Democrats pushing through another $5 trillion, we'd say, what the hell are you doing? If you don't stop the spending, we're going to run out of money.
Hammer and Nigel, weekdays 3 till 7 on 93 WIBC and WIBC.com.
Hey, this is Rob.
And this is Casey.
Did Barron Trump earn $40 million from his dad's crypto venture?
Join us Monday, 9 until noon on 93 WIBC.
Coming up in 2 minutes from the Technology Recyclers Studios, how Game 7 of the NBA Finals went and why there was dozens of crime scene markers on Monument Circle this morning. After Fox News, you're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. It is 7 o'clock.
Monumental damage, obliteration. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. That's what President Trump posted late last night about the U.S. military strikes on 3 Iran nuclear facilities over the weekend, adding the biggest damage took place far below ground, bullseye. And this morning, one of those sites is under attack again.
With the Israeli fighter jets active above Iran, they are hitting the Fordo facility again. There are indications that the Israelis are striking at the entrance roads to and from Fordo to prevent the Iranians from regaining access. In addition to that, they're hitting the headquarters for the Revolutionary Guard. They struck at a prison for political prisoners.
Fox's Mike Tobin in Tel Aviv. Iran told the UN Security Council the U.S. decided to destroy diplomacy. Another missile it fired into Israel got through the Iron Dome defense, doing damage. No one was hurt. Now, we're just getting word that the U.S. Embassy in Qatar has sent a message to American citizens recommending they shelter in place there until further notice. Drama near Detroit. A man showed up at a crowded church wearing a vest, carrying 2 guns, started shooting outside. But as he walked to the church, someone drove a truck into him, and then 2 church staff members shot and killed him.
We are grateful for the heroic actions of the church's staff members, who undoubtedly saved many lives and prevented a large-scale mass shooting.
Wayne, Michigan Police Chief Ryan Strong says it appears the dead gunman was having a mental health crisis. It's going to be another really hot day across much of America. More record highs could be set. Advisories or heat warnings from Wisconsin to Texas, the Carolinas, and the New England. They partied late into the night in Oklahoma City.
We're on top of the world right
Celebrating an NBA championship.
OKC!
The Thunder won it, beating the Indiana Pacers 103-91 in Game 7.
For the first time in 25 years, the same player won the regular season MVP, the scoring title, and now he's your finals MVP. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
Commissioner Adam Silver on ABC. It's the Thunder's first title since 1979 when they were the Seattle Supersonics. America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
A title run no Hoosier will soon forget. Your radar is clear. It's 76 degrees in downtown Indianapolis, going up to 96, and we have a heat advisory in effect through tomorrow. More on that in a minute. I'm Ryan Hedrick. Here's what's trending at 7:02.
Allie, thank you for bringing life back to Indianapolis. We love you. Come back stronger than ever. Go Pacers, baby. Go Pacers!
That fan spoke with Wish TV after the Pacers' Game 7 loss to the Oklahoma City Thunder in the NBA Finals. 103-91 the final score. Tyrese Halliburton left in the first quarter with an injury, and forward Obi Toppin said the team felt the impact.
We need a tie out there, and he's been good for us all year. And for him to go down, beginning a game like that, it's like it sucked the soul out of us. I ain't gonna say out of everybody, but I don't feel like I played good because I was thinking about it the whole day, and I felt like it was my fault. So.
Forward Pascal Siakam.
I'm super proud of everyone, and I really do love these guys, and I'm super appreciative of the opportunity to be here, and kind of gave me my that joy for the game again, and I'm just. super grateful for that.
And the Pacers were back in the NBA Finals for the first time in 25 years. The team has not officially said exactly what kind of injury that Tyrese Halliburton suffered, although his father told ABC's Lisa Salters that it was an Achilles injury. Crime scene tape and dozens of evidence markers covered Monument Circle this morning after 3 people were shot.
Well, they are considered to be stable in the hospital, according to police right now. They responded to Monument Circle sometime just before 2 this morning.
That's Wish TV's Hernan Gutierrez.
Because of the game, there were also more emergency responders out and were able to get to the scene.
And police said they have detained a couple of people, but they have not officially announced any arrests. Extremely hot temperatures are here in Indiana, and they are expected to continue through the rest of the work week. Here's Jake McDaniel.
Indeed, we are expecting, at least for central and actually most of Indiana, widespread low to mid-90s for high temperatures.
Alexander McGinnis with the National Weather Service in Indianapolis says that is expected to happen all the way through at least Thursday.
And then we would think for the end of the week, certainly highs near 90, if not getting up into the low 90s.
He added,
certainly heat indices or heat index values would probably be getting near or a little bit above 100 degrees, and that's why we put out a heat advisory for much of the state.
And he says try to cool off, because if you don't, it could lead to medical health problems. Jake McDaniel, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
And Kroger has announced its first quarter earnings report, and they're going to close 60 stores over the next 18 months. The company operates more than 2,700 stores across this country, including 9 in Fort Wayne and many in the Indianapolis area. I'm Ryan Hedrick on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com. At 7:05, traffic on the 5s. Good morning, Matt Bear.
What's happening, Ryan? Looking at northbound 65 on the south side. Slow from Raymond up to the south split. That's because of road construction. And on the northwest side, checking out the ramp going from northbound 465 to northbound 65. That is slow. But once you get up to before West 71st Street, you are good to go and wide open, making your way up to Lebanon. Traffic sponsored by Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield. They've teamed up with the Indiana Fever and Common Threads to provide local schools with information for nutritious meal preparation. Learn more at anthem.com/fever. Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield is the trade name of Anthem Insurance Companies Incorporated. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Tara Hastings, Wish TV meteorologist. What are we feeling?
Surprise. Tara's off because she's probably stayed up late for the Pacers.
Yeah. You know, it's probably had a lot of money on the game too.
I hope not.
Hey, listen. When maybe she did, maybe she didn't. Maybe she's got a. Maybe she just was like, you know what? This is a sure thing. Maybe she was actually putting her money on the Thunder because she's secretly a trader. We don't know.
I hope not. For today, sunny, hot, and humid. Temperatures getting into the mid-90s for highs. We could be challenging a record high here in Indianapolis. For tonight, mostly clear. Tuesday, mostly sunny, hot, and humid. Spotty afternoon storm is possible. High temperatures in the mid-90s. Heat advisories are in place for today all the way through Friday. Each afternoon, temperatures getting into the 90s with heat index values challenging the triple digits.
Now, that's Ryan Morse. That's not Tara Hastings. I have that right?
True. That is true.
That's accurate. See, I had it wrong before, but now got it all together. Ryan Morse, Wish TV meteorologist. I appreciate you taking the time to be with us, Ryan. Thank you. 72 degrees already in the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. The time is 7:07. Sad to see the Pacers go down like that. Certainly sad to see Halliburton with that leg injury, which, I mean, that's an Achilles. That's Aaron Rodgers. That's exactly what that is. And it's going to be a long road back for him. And it's going to be a rough offseason for this team. Tony Katz, 93 WIBC. Good morning. Rough in the head, you know. Game 7 of the finals, and it doesn't go your way. That's a hard one. That's a hard one to wrestle with. You get so close, but you don't get to where you want to be. 103-91. The Pacers lose in Game 7. That stinks. The team, this has been a lot of fun. This has been a lot of fun. And yeah, this city just would have gone nuts for a parade. It's true. It is true. But it is equally as true that this city, this state is very into this team and very into this makeup. And I don't know if that means everybody's going to be sticking around as new as a new season comes and plans come. But there's a core here that works. And I got to assume that the Pacers are going to make their moves to make sure that everybody remains. Just going to assume that we're going to get into luxury tax, that we're going to start doing these things. We will see what we will see. And then there is a story, and I know that Kendall and Casey have discussed parts of this, that there is a state senator in Indiana by the name of Mike Boachek. Mike Boachek had got an OWI after police stopped him in January in Michigan City. So he gets this, but because he's a member of the General Assembly, you can't actually move on it because it can't be done while the session is taking place. That's something else. And we're like, why is this a rule? Well, now it's learned, South Bend Tribune with the story, that he will be able to continue driving until a decision is reached in his case of operating while intoxicated. So he's got one of those, you got to breathe into your car to start the car, and it won't turn on if it detects alcohol. His alleged blood alcohol level is more than 3 times the 0.08% limit. Was not arrested because the Indiana Constitution prohibits state lawmakers from being taken into custody while the Indiana General Assembly is in session, except for treason, a felony, or breach of the peace. So they can't spy for another nation or kill somebody, but everything else is somewhat fair game. The judge says, we're going to take away your license, suspend your license, or at least could have gone that way, but instead sides with the defense because that would have created a substantial hardship on Boachek and his family. Okay, now we're getting into the who else would get that deal. Maybe that deal happens all the time and I don't know it. There is... I get that there's anger about this story. What I want to know, excuse me, forgive me there. What I would like to know is exactly how standard is this? Does this happen a lot in operating while under the influence case? I refer to it as DWI, not OWI, neither here nor there. Does this happen often? Is this a regular occurrence about being able to keep your license or these things? Do other people have their license taken? You can talk about the law for lawmakers and if we want to change that. But I'm asking on this thing with the license, is this standard? And if it's not standard, you mean you did it for an elected official? Because if that's the case, that's where the issue is. Substantial hardship just because you got elected? No, I don't think we're going to buy into that. Don't think so at all. Tony Katz, 93 WIBC. Good morning.
Everyone's talking about Galaxy Concrete Coatings and their transformation. Like your neighbor Brett.
We did Galaxy for the sidewalks and also the porch. The porch had a few pits. Galaxy said that was no problem.
Home or business, Galaxy Concrete Coatings got you covered.
Obviously with the front sidewalk and step, so we didn't worry about any kind of slipping. You know, you're concerned about that after rain. And then when it did dry, it didn't spot, it didn't stain. It was just like it had been done yesterday.
Lots of styles to choose from, 4 times stronger than epoxy, and it comes with a lifetime warranty.
One thing that my wife commented on was how easy the Galaxy coating swept versus just the bare concrete.
Click on GalaxyConcreteCoatings.com now. That's Galaxy Concrete Coatings. And remember to like us on Facebook. Galaxy Concrete Coatings. We're out of this world.
We moved here recently. I didn't even think twice about calling anyone else but Galaxy to come do this house.
The doctor's office that accidentally mixed up your files has your social security number. The power company that mistakenly cut your service has your payment info. And the hotel that lost your reservation has your passport number. You need LifeLock because your personal info is in endless places that can expose you to identity thieves. LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points every second. If your identity is stolen, we'll fix it, guaranteed or your money back. Save up to 40% with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
Hey, this is Denny Smith for LD Smith Plumbing. Lance Smith joins me right now. No, we're not related, but I'd be proud to call him my son, my uncle, my cousin, whatever. Lance, welcome to the studio.
Hey, thanks for having me.
All right, sump pumps, they're coming up. You guys, it's probably time to get your sump pump special. You brag on this every year.
Yep, it's a real deal. Free primary sump pump with the purchase of a battery backup system. Simple as that. No hidden labor fees or anything like that. 317-927-7186 or ldsmithplumbing.com.
Hammer and Nigel show back at it this afternoon at 3. The Pacers, that game last night. We'll talk about it, and it's Monday Gun Day with Guy Relford, 93 WIBC. Traffic on the 5s. Matthew Bear, what's going on?
Crash on the south side of Southport Road west of I-65 and looking at northbound 65 in the construction zone on the south side. Looking slow, Raymond Street into the south split because of those lane restrictions. And now we have a crash reported on the south side. It's going southbound 65 to Southport Road on that very long exit ramp. The ramp is open partially black. That's where the crash is. Just be careful, please. Traffic sponsored by Progressive Commercial Insurance. Progressive Commercial Insurance protects small businesses with affordable coverage options. Get a business insurance quote online in as little as 7 minutes. Visit progressivecommercial.com. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
72 degrees in the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. The time is 7:16. Gearing up for the popcorn moment. Brought to you by Boer Remodeling, B-O-O-H-E-R, BoerRemodeling.com. Your kitchen, your bathroom, your basement, if it's in your four walls, Boer Remodeling is the call. It's not that the project has to be the biggest project in the world. It's your project. That's what matters. You want something done, and you want it done your way. You have a specific look and style you're going for. Boer understands this, and Boer is there to help. From that initial consultation to that final bit of finish, that's what Boer is there for. Every step of the way, giving you this incredible communication so you know what's happening, so you don't have the stress, and therefore you're able to actually focus on the job at hand. And the next thing you know, they're done, and you've got the new kitchen with the new cabinets, with the new countertop, with the new space, with the new flow, that new bathroom with the spa-like feel, a basement, that home theater maybe, or other things that you require. Boer is listening. The best materials, the most skilled craftsmen in Central Indiana. Boer guides you through the entire process, and they stand behind their work with a 2-year workmanship guarantee. That's what Boer does. They deliver quality work on time with a service-oriented attitude. I've used them. You're going to love them. Talk to Boer Remodeling today. 317-852-5546. Tell them Tony Katz sent you. 317-852-5546. Boer Remodeling, 852-5546, or online at Boer, B-O-O-H-E-R, BoerRemodeling.com. The popcorn moment. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. It's the story you need to hear to believe, then grab your popcorn, because there is more. Let's get back to some of the responses of this attack on the Iranian nuclear sites from the United States. This taking place on Saturday. This was outrageously successful, as described by absolutely everybody who was involved in it, including those in the media discussing the fact that the operational security here, meaning the secrecy, was amazing. Jennifer Griffin from Fox News.
More, according to the president. The other thing I can point out, Brett, is that this is an operation in the last 18 years since I've been at the Pentagon. I've never seen such operational security. There was nobody speaking about this, any of the preparations. There was a complete lockdown, almost a blackout of information for the last few days. I'm sitting here in the Pentagon right now. I can tell you the hallways are empty, and all of the information is coming right now out of the White House. That is a significant achievement because there were no leaks about the timing. Now,
that's rare stuff, and good. It's good that there were no leaks. This is excellent news. Now, when it comes to our position from our government, here was the full answer from J.D. Vance, the vice president, on are we at war with Iran?
Well, I think the foreign minister is exactly wrong. We didn't blow up diplomacy. We only took this action, Kristen, when it was clear, as the president said, that the Iranians were tapping us along. I think it's important for the American people to appreciate here that if you go back to March of this year, we had the entire administration engaged in this diplomatic effort. And frankly, in March of this year, we had some optimism. How do we get from there to now? And the answer is we felt very strongly that the Iranians were stonewalling us. They weren't taking this seriously. They were trying to draw this process out as long as possible so that they could rebuild their nuclear weapons program without the threat of American action. We had a limited window in which we could take out this Fordo nuclear facility in particular. The president decided to take it, but we didn't blow up the diplomacy. The diplomacy never was given a real chance by the Iranians. And our hope, Kristen, as the president said repeatedly, is that this maybe can reset here. The Iranians have a choice. They can go down the path of peace, or they can go down the path of this ridiculous brinksmanship of funding terrorism, of trying to build a nuclear weapon, and that's just not something the United States can accept. I want to say something, Kristen, just to the Iranian leadership. Look, they have tried to build a nuclear weapons program. That program is now destroyed. They tried to build a conventional missile program to attack neighbors in the region. That missile program has shown to be a failure. They have funded terrorism aggressively in the region, and now most of their terrorism proxies are destroyed. The Iranians are clearly not very good at war. Perhaps they should follow President Trump's lead and give peace a chance.
Now, they're not very interested in doing that, Mr. Vice President. That's not their desire nor their want. The idea of give peace a chance is not what they are about. What they are about is certainly the concept of retaliation. Whether that retaliation take place against Israel, whether that retaliation takes place in the United States via sleeper cells, as the alleged warning was given. The Secretary of State and National Security Advisor, Marco Rubio, speaking to Maria Bartiromo.
Are we now at war with Iran?
No, we're not. This is not a war against Iran. This is very simple. 67 days ago, the President of the United States sent the Iranians a letter, and it said, you're not going to have nuclear weapons. You're not going to have a militarized nuclear program. Let's negotiate. I want to do this diplomatically. I want to do this peacefully. They tried to play him along the way they've played every American president for the last 35 years. And, the president told them, if we don't get a deal, which is what he wanted, then I'll have to handle it differently. And that's what he did last night. He handled it differently. But that was an Iranian choice. We didn't make that choice. They did. By playing games with Donald Trump, they made a huge mistake. And President Trump acted last night. And I think the world today is safer and more stable than it was 24 hours ago. And a bunch of these countries putting out statements condemning us, privately, they all agree with us that this needed to be done. They got to do what they got to do for, their own public relations purposes. But the only people in the world that are unhappy about what happened in Iran last night is the regime.
And, of course, Mr. Secretary, the political left. A lot of talk from the political left about how we were not consulted and we were not made aware. When Joe Biden engaged bombing raids, when Barack Obama was engaging drone attacks, the Democrats cheered. This idea of unconstitutional. Well, I'm thrilled that people actually think the Constitution matters. Does the president have this authority? The answer is clearly yes. But if you want to change how some of that maneuvers, some of the war powers that the president has, Congress is more than capable of making that decision. They're more than capable of making that change, and they can go about doing so. To be opposed to this, well, you can argue that there may have been a better way. You can make that argument, but then you have to be able to articulate what that better way is and see if it sells. The Democratic Party hasn't done that here. I told you that this was an 80-20 issue in America, and I told you that, yes, I would have dropped these bombs on these nuclear sites. Does this mean the problem is over? Gosh, no. There would be issues if you hadn't. There'd be issues if you do. The Free Press is writing that 16 cargo trucks, trailers, were seen leaving Fordo before the attack. Does that mean they got nuclear material out? That means they got fissile material out? Does that mean they're selling it to other people? What does that mean? I don't know. But if the Free Press has got photos and satellite imagery, I'm assuming the United States does as well. You're dealing with the hostile actor. Well, Tony, we're the ones telling them they can't do this and can't do that. Who are we? We're the United States. Can I help you? Well, who do we think we are telling other nations? If you allow Iran to have a nuclear weapon, you've got a problem. Well, only the United States has used a nuclear weapon. Yes, and it ended a war. I'm not interested in the historically illiterate here. I'm interested in the real-world application of what happens if Iran does have a nuclear weapon. And unless the objective is to destabilize the United States, unless the objective is to do harm to the United States, unless the objective is to not have the United States on top, which has brought about the most amount of peace and prosperity. I mean, if your objective is that, to try and make that happen, well, then, my God, now we know a lot about those people. But you don't have a better world with Iran with a nuclear weapon by having a nuclear Iran. You just don't. It's mythology. It's like believing that the WNBA would have a fan base without Caitlin Clark. It's not real. You might as well believe in the chupacabra. Yes, I am fine with this. Now, regime change, well, that's a whole nother conversation. We'll get into it. Right now, Matt Bear has traffic.
Crash on the exit ramp from southbound 65 to Southport Road. Also a crash Southport Road west of I-65. Looking at the southeast side, northbound 465 slows from 74 to Brookville Road, and northbound 65 pockets of slow from Southport Road to the South Split because of construction. Traffic sponsored by B Window. Right now, B Window is extending their employee discount to you. Get 55% off all products and services, plus 18 months, no interest or payments. Trust local, trust employee owned, trust your home to bwindow.com. Matt Bear at WIBC Traffic.
Hammer and Nigel show back at it this afternoon at 3. The Pacers, that game last night. We'll talk about it, and it's Monday Gun Day with Guy Relford, 93 WIBC.
It's one thing to save for retirement. It's another thing to feel ready for it. Trajan Wealth helped me build a real plan, a customized, tailor-made portfolio with less guesswork and more peace of mind. Matt Bear here. Hey, happy Monday. Jeff in the downtown office is my guy. He explained everything, gave me options, and never once tried to sell me something I didn't need. No pressure. I'm a Trajan client now, and I couldn't be happier. Call Trajan Wealth today and set your first appointment. It's free, 317-480-4040, or go to TrajanWealth.com. Here's what's cool about Trajan. They really took the time to get to know me. It wasn't like, here are a bunch of stocks to buy, or here's this month's IRA we're pushing. They listened. They responded with a portfolio that's tailored to my visions of life after work. Call today and learn more. 317-480-4040, or visit TrajanWealth.com. Remember, your first appointment is on them. Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor. Paid advertisement.
Looking for a cozy spot to relax, work, or grab your coffee to go? LC Coffee House in Noblesville, Indiana has you covered. Try our indulgent affogato, a sweet blend of espresso and ice cream. Or sample our coffee flights to discover your perfect brew. In a rush, our drive-thru is ready to serve you fast and fresh. Need a space to collaborate? We offer meeting rooms perfect for co-working. Whether you're grabbing a quick drink or spending the day with us, LC Coffee House is the place to be.
Summertime's here, so get a hot summertime deal at Tom Roush Lincoln. Get Lincoln's employee pricing on most all new Lincolns. Get up to $20,000 off select 2024 Navigators. Up to $8,000 off select 2024 Lincoln Nautilus. Come and see why the Roush family has served the community for over 53 years at Tom Roush Lincoln.
Navigator MSRP 105-195. Nautilus MSRP 60-195. 2025 Navigators excluded from employee pricing. Subject to credit approval. See dealer for complete offer details.
Febreze. As a rideshare driver, I love keeping my car smelling fresh and clean. So when I'm driving, I only trust Febreze car vent clips, featuring 3 distinct intensity settings, because it's that little touch that sets me apart. I can turn the intensity down for subtle freshness, or I can turn it up for when I want lots of scent. So whether it's set to low, medium, or high, with Febreze car, I know my car's going to smell amazing. Which keeps my driver rating right where it belongs. Picking up, Oscar!
As a caregiver, managing your loved one's health can at times be overwhelming. This is Tina McIntosh, president of Joy's House and co-host of the Caregiver Crossing radio program. In a moment, I'll share 3 tips to help you manage your loved one's medical care effectively.
Cardon & Associates provides residents with the best senior living options and personalized service. Visit cardon.us to find a community near you.
Tip number 1, keep a list of all medications, dosages, and schedules to ensure your loved one is taking their medication correctly. Second, attend doctor's appointments with your loved one when you're able. And finally, stay organized by keeping forms, notes, and other important documents in one secure place. More tips like this are available anytime at caregivercrossingradio.org. With new weekly content created by Joy's House and distributed in partnership with Network Indiana, we're an on-air and online support group for Hoosier family caregivers. Hear conversations with experts, access a library of online education, and more at caregivercrossingradio.org.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Precision strikes damages a terrorist network. Your radar is clear, and it's 76 degrees in downtown Indianapolis, going up to 96 today. I'm Ryan Hedrick from Michela's Corporation. Here's what's trending at 7:31. The U.S. hit 3 Iranian nuclear sites over the weekend with 30,000-pound bunker buster bombs. Arkansas Congressman Rick Crawford told Fox's Mike Emanuel on the Fox News Rundown podcast that the concern goes beyond Iran having a nuclear weapon.
Could they take that technology and deliver a nuclear payload in some other way? That's the concern. And so that means it's not just about targeting regional targets like Israel. It's about their ability to deliver against other targets far away.
And the Iranian ambassador to the UN, however, insists that the U.S. destroyed diplomacy with this strike. Israel deals with more than missiles coming from Iran as that country considers a full response to President Trump's Saturday night attack on their nuclear program.
Once again, Israel has endured a couple of waves of missile barrages here as sirens wailed from the north to the south, people crowding into the underground train station in the port city of Haifa to the north of Israel. One projectile got through the missile defenses and struck about halfway between Tel Aviv here and the Gaza Strip. No reports of injuries, but there are reports of power outages. That being said, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is explaining that Iran had enough uranium enriched just below weapons grade to make about 10 bombs. And he says after Hezbollah's Secretary General Hassan Nasrallah was killed, Iran began a desperate rush to build a bomb.
And that's Fox's Mike Tobin reporting. Here in Indiana, we are in the midst of a heat wave.
We would recommend any work outside to be done earlier in the morning, not later in the afternoon when the temperatures will be 15 or 20 degrees higher.
And that's Fox's Alex McGinnis at the National Weather Service.
You know, temperatures are not going to be getting so much close to 100 as, you know, has happened in the past in Indiana. The bigger deal with this heat wave is going to be humidity, which will be marked by very warm mornings with low temperatures, in the mid-70s for several days in a row.
And a heat advisory in effect till at least Tuesday. A judge ruling that a school corporation in eastern Indiana can remain open. Here's Jarrett Lewis.
In a ruling Friday, a judge says union schools in Modoc, Indiana do not have to close this upcoming school year. There was fear that would be the case following the signing of a property tax overhaul bill this legislative session, which included an amendment about the school and not taking on new financial obligations. Union School Superintendent Galen Mast says the community has had their back during this process.
Pressure on coal causes diamonds. And so that's what's happened with our community. There's not been fractures. It has brought people together.
The judge interpreted the law as saying it would not prevent the district from giving out new contracts for the upcoming school year. Jarrett Lewis, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
And sports on WIBC is brought to you by Ball State Athletics. Visit ballstatesports.com.
It really hurts on the one hand. On the other hand, this team has given all of Pacer Nation something to be very proud of.
That's Indiana Pacer head coach Rick Carlisle speaking after Indiana's season ended with a 103-91 loss to the Oklahoma City Thunder in Game 7 of the NBA Finals, a night that also saw Tyrese Halliburton go down with what his dad says was an Achilles injury.
All of our hearts dropped, but he will be back. I don't have any medical information about what may or may not have happened, but he'll be back in time.
Guard TJ McConnell.
When it happened, I think a lot of us were shaken up when you see your guy go down like that and have to move on right away and finish the game, especially when it's that early. We came back at halftime and we were all giving him a hug and telling him we support him, and we'll continue to support him throughout his rehab process.
And the Oklahoma City Thunder clinched their first NBA title since relocating to Oklahoma City. I'm Ryan Hedrick on the level on the go and at WIBC.com at 7:35. Traffic on the 5s. What are you watching for us, Matt Bear?
Yeah, buddy, looking at southbound 65. The entrance ramp has a crash on it from Southport Road. So Southport Road going to southbound 65. Crash on the entrance ramp. Looking at the southeast side, northbound 465. Starting to slow a little bit. 74 up to Brookville Road. Slow in pockets in the south side construction zone on northbound 65. From Edgewood Avenue up to the south split, a 5-minute delay as you make that stretch. Traffic sponsored by B Window. Right now, B Window is extending their employee discount to you. Get 55% off all products and services, plus 18 months, no interest or payments. Trust local, trust employee owned, trust your home to bwindow.com. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
72 degrees in the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. The time is 7:36.
Trust employee owned. B Windows extending our employee discount to you. Up to 55% off, plus 18 months, no interest, no payments. Trust your home to B.
Whenever I'm out wandering, chasing a rainbow dream, I often stop and think about a place I've never seen. Where friendly
Today
folks can
on the
gather
marketplace,
and raise the rafters high.
the big fake check. Everybody needs one, and now you can have one. Tony Katz, 93 WIBC. Good morning. Good to be with you. During downtime, I'm clearing my head for what's next on the show. I'm contemplating the loss of the Indiana Pacers against the Oklahoma City Thunder in Game 7. Sorry to see it. All the best to Tyrese Halliburton and that leg injury, that Achilles injury, obviously, and to that team. Thanks for the fun, and we'll be back at it next year. The marketplace brought to you by IndianaUnclaimed.gov. IndianaUnclaimed.gov. It's your money. Go get it. No, quite literally, it's your money. Someone's trying to get it to you. The Attorney General's holding on to it. Thus, IndianaUnclaimed.gov, so you can get your cash. So I'm clearing my head. I'm on Facebook Marketplace. They have good stuff, odd stuff, strange stuff, weird stuff, all sorts of stuff. I've bought, I've sold, I've done it all. Matt Bear, this is a blank check.
Easier to bounce.
Well, right.
Right.
This you ever see like those presentation checks? It's like, hey, we're writing a check for $500 to wherever.
Yeah,
wherever
we are donating money to something, big charity, big cause. You want everybody to know that you're donating this money. You get yourself a big check.
Right. Right. So this is one of those big checks. What's strange is it's from the MGM Grand.
Oh.
Now, according to them, the MGM Grand sticker can be removed and you can put other stickers in its place. But this is a blank check to use for fundraisers or pranks.
It's like a routing number on the bottom.
I am with you that I have absolutely no idea what it means by end pranks.
Oh, ha, ha, ha. We donated $1,000 to your charity. No, we didn't. Gotcha.
Right? You're going to show up and you're going to have the balloons like your Publishers Clearinghouse and you won $1 million and then it's, ha, ha.
Joke's on you,
Three
society.
people ended up dead today for having this prank saying a guy won $1 million. That's my concern.
Yeah,
this is going to lead to death.
I tell you, the hungry children need to be pranked every now and then. So, this is this is the best way to do it. If you want to get your prank, get your shtick on, this is how to start. I'm well encouraged.
Why? Is it just the hungry children?
Yeah, just the hungry, any kind of good cause that you want to donate to and really not donate to. I mean, you can go high five all your bros, put the video on TikTok. Man, did we really show those people with leukemia who's boss today?
So the question before us is, do you want this check? Because it's yours, this big check, 47 inches by 23.5 inches. It can be yours for $10.
I can't imagine buying anything like this. I just can't. I don't know where this person got it. Probably at the MGM Grand. That's what this is. What is this? How they comp people now? You get a giant blank check if you win lots of money at our casinos, and then this is what you get. Congratulations,
dude. Unless you're like a whale, I don't think anybody's getting comped anymore.
Oh, really?
If you still have to pay for resort fees, you're not getting comped.
Those days are numbered. This isn't the day of the Tangiers anymore. Yeah.
So you can use this check as in fundraisers or to make hungry children think they're getting food and then pull it away from them.
You just pull it right away.
Right.
Joke's on them, Tony.
So are you in or you out with the giant blank check?
I'm out. I'm so out. This person offends me. Posted this.
Right. Yeah. Listen. I guess we could do a WIBC sticker and then pretend people won cash and prizes.
This would be like the old radio stunts in the 90s where you win a car except you win a Matchbox car. Whoa!
Yeah, right, exactly. It's like, let's make a deal.
Yeah.
It's like, let's make a deal. This check, by the way, is exactly how people in radio get paid.
Yeah. Well,
it's all fake.
And they still try to direct deposit.
Oh, of course.
So bizarre.
Of course.
We live in a strange world.
It's there on the marketplace. It's yours if you want it. That is Matt Bear, Matt in Traffic on the X, and producer Carl Showbiz. Follow him there as well, if you don't mind. Tony Katz, that's me, 93 WIBC. Good morning. And man, the employee pricing continues at Andy Moore Ford in Plainfield. You pay what they pay at Andy Moore Ford in Plainfield. Employee pricing across a full line of your favorite trucks and SUVs. Andy Moore Ford. Man, they were talking a lot about this during the Pacers game, and it's all there for you at Andy Moore Ford. The F-150s, the Super Duties, the Explorers, the Expeditions. And if you're looking for something a little smaller, but you still need to haul around crew and cargo, the Ford Edge. Perfect balance of practicality and style. You're going to enjoy the excellent fuel economy, loaded with safety features, and you can do it all online. You can get employee pricing with more to your door. Andy Moore, more to your door. It's funny. And you go online to andymoreford.com. You purchase a vehicle online, and they will deliver it directly to you. And the time has never been better for your trade. Andy Moore Ford will pay you top dollar for your used vehicle, even if you don't buy from them. Talk to Andy Moore Ford in Plainfield right now. Head on out there, 2713 East Main Street in Plainfield, or take care of everything online. Purchasing your vehicle, selling your vehicle. How about that service at andymoreford.com? That's Andy Moore, M-O-H-R, andymoreford.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Corinne Jean-Pierre. latest to put some tell-all book out there about the Biden White House and...
Oh, her horrible book. Karine Jean-Pierre and her horrible book. Ugh.
She's saying that she is leaving the Democrat Party now because of the way the party treated Joe Biden.
Hammer and Nigel, weekdays 3 till 7 on 93 WIBC and WIBC.com.
When you golf in Missouri, the courses are so close, you'll spend more time on the fairway than the freeway. After the back nine, enjoy world-class dining and distilleries, shops, spas, museums, and more. Find your new golf MO at visitmo.com.
Pat Sullivan here for Michaelis. They're a locally owned and operated family business serving central Indiana for over 39 years. I'm here with Richard Michaelis, who has helped many homeowners with foundation, basement, and crawl space issues.
That's right. If you notice cracks or bowing in your basement walls or detect moisture in the basement or crawl space, it might indicate a serious issue, but it could be a simpler fix than you think.
When you spot a problem, it won't magically improve on its own. It will only get worse over time. Take action now to prevent bigger issues down the road.
That's correct. Contact Michaelis for a free inspection so you can have peace of mind. Our foundation and crawl space work has a lifetime warranty. We offer 0% down financing on foundation, basement, and crawl space repairs. You see our work before we see your money.
Foundations, basements, or crawl spaces, life happens, and Michaelis happens to help you through it. Text or call 844-FIX-INDY. That's 844-FIX-INDY. Make it Michaelis.
Progressive Commercial Insurance, protecting your business vehicles 24/7. Get a business insurance quote online in as little as 7 minutes. See if you can save at progressivecommercial.com.
Traffic on the 5s and Matt Bear, what do we know?
Northbound 65 slow in pockets from Southport Road up to the South Split. That's because of road construction. Really starts to grind before South Keystone Avenue into the South Split. Northwest side, northbound 465 slows from 86th Street up to 865. Crash on the entrance ramp from Southport Road to southbound 65. That ramp is open and is partially blocked. Traffic sponsored by B Window. Right now, B Window is extending their employee discount to you. Get 55% off all products and services, plus 18 months, no interest or payments. Trust local, trust employee-owned, trust your home. To bwindow.com. I'm Matt Bear on the 5s at WIBC Traffic.
72 degrees in the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. The time is 7:45.
Jim Schrader, IT Director for Lakota and SMC Trailers and Viaggio Pontoon Boats, has a solid reason for selecting Applied Innovation.
With companies, the bottom line comes to dollars and cents. It really does. And when we consolidated all our printing needs with Applied, we got rid of all these onesies, twosies, desktops that we were having to take care of and got the big MFPs and strategically placed them.
And with the Applied Innovation Printing Solution,
we're saving about $25,000 a year between the three companies by doing that. And of course, everybody's like, oh, well, what if I need to print privately or this or that? You know, they've helped me set up private print, direct print, coded print, all that stuff.
You're sold on Applied Innovation.
If you're looking for great service, attentiveness, and a fantastic product, Applied is the place to go. Applied is Johnny on the spot, literally.
Call Applied Innovation today, 800-521-0983, or visit appliedinnovation.com.
Sometimes I struggle to get to sleep. My body stopped for the day, but my mind is still running. So I take ZQuil.
ZQuil, the world's #1 sleep aid brand, has a range of non-habit-forming products to fit you and your family's needs. Invest in a great night's sleep for the best you tomorrow.
I'm awake and ready to take on anything.
Better days start with ZQuil nights. Explore our products at ZQuil.com. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
The Attorney General's Office, reuniting Hoosiers with over $1 million in unclaimed property every week. Visit indianaunclaimed.gov or text Tony Katz to 46220 today.
Only 2 months to go. Get ready for a day of golf, good times, and giving back at this year's golf outing powered by Franciscan Health, Thursday, August 7th at the Legends Golf Club in Franklin. Grab your spot now at 1075thefan.com.
Mr. Sandman, bring me a dream.
Regime change.
Make him the cutest that I've ever seen.
That's not really our business now, is it? Certainly, you will not get me to disagree that the world would be better off without the Ayatollah. I agree with this wholeheartedly. There is no question, I think, in the minds of rational people that Iran is better off without a radical Islamist in charge. Tony Katz, 93 WIBC. Good morning. Good to be with you. I would say that if we're talking about regime change, maybe a Democratic Party that doesn't find itself favoring terrorists and terrorist supporters. I mean, this is what's happening. It's what's happening with the Democratic Party. It's quite pathetic. They should be embarrassed. And it is very obvious that they have no way to fix it. Their party is very, 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 very broken. Very broken. But there was this statement from President Trump involving regime change. I thought I had it in my show sheet. Well, I know what I have in the show sheet is President Trump, after the dropping of bunker busters, 14 MOPs, massive ordnance penetrators, on 2 nuclear sites, and then the Tomahawk missiles on a 3rd site called Isfahan. President Trump said any retaliation by Iran against the United States of America will be met with force far greater than what was witnessed tonight. Thank you, Donald J. Trump, President of the United States. Usually it's just thank you for your attention to this matter, which is always so great. But no, there was a thing about Trump talking about regime change. He goes, I'm not in favor of the terminology, but saying it's not the politically correct term to use, regime change, but if the current Iranian regime is unable to make Iran great again, why wouldn't there be a regime change? And then he writes, MIGA, make Iran great again. Now, I have posted on social media before this, make Persia great again. I believe that has to come from the Persians, to say the Iranians. That's where this has to come from. The only place the change can come from is from the Iranian people. Yes, it can come with our support. Our support is nothing more than, when you get this done, we're going to be there to be your friend. We've got trade deals to go and everything else. Let's get cooking, boo-boo. That is absolutely something we should be 1,000% in favor of. 1,000%. As a matter of fact, I would think it foolish if we weren't. If we weren't in favor of the Iranian people removing once and for all this cancer in their world, in their lives, the Ayatollah, and stop, the sponsor of terror, the guy who imprisons anybody who disagrees, the guy who is responsible for torture, the guy who's responsible for all the sanctions, that guy, if you somehow think he should remain, okay. I think the people there should do something about it. And I think that Israel has weakened the Iranians to the point where maybe they can. Has weakened the regime to the point where the Iranian people can do this. That's what I want. And I'm not interested in hearing from Rubio or Hegseth or J.D. Vance an idea that would promote us removing these people. Now, I don't think I'd ever hear it from J.D. Vance. And I'm not interested in hearing it from Lindsey Graham. No thanks. The people have to do this. And when you have this kind of conversation, we all understand that this does not go smooth. This isn't lovey-dovey. People are going to die. If you want it, people are going to die. How do I know this? The American Revolution, regime change. If you're not willing to pledge your lives, your fortunes, and your sacred honor, sorry, don't ask anybody else to do it for you. This isn't about anything other than where the actual moment has to come from. Do the people in Iran have it absolutely terrible? Of course they do. Is the Ayatollah a dictatorial fiend? Absolutely. Is he supported by college campuses across America and leftists, including Tlaib and Omar and Ocasio-Cortez? 1,000% in my view. No, not even a question. Is the Ayatollah a terrible human being? Absolutely. Will I care if bad things happen to him? The answer is I will not. Now, I'm not a guy who's going to openly celebrate either. It's just not how I work. But in order for it to change, the people have to be the impetus. The people of Iran. It cannot be our military. Just can't be. They need to do this. And then we need to be their friend as they do it. We need to be supportive of it. Because if there are still people out there supporting the Ayatollah, well, that's interesting. Which brings us to Russia, which has said, well, we'll send Iran nuclear warheads now. Oh, there are things that have happened since Saturday night that'll make your skin crawl and should really strike some fear. And then, of course, there are the things we always knew to be true. Russia has never been a friend. Russia has no interest in anything except their own conquests. And the people who are like, well, Russia's not doing anything wrong. It's Ukraine that's the problem. Cute. Matt Bear's got traffic.
Northbound 65 slow in pockets from Edgewood Avenue up to the South Split because of construction. Traffic sponsored by B Window. Right now, B Window is extending their employee discount to you. Get 55% off all products and services, plus 18 months, no interest or payments. Trust a local, trust employee owned, trust your home to bwindow.com. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the fives. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Stop putting screens on your gutters. If the holes are too big, debris gets in and you're still cleaning your gutters. If the holes are too small, it sits on top and you're cleaning the screens. And those screens will need to be replaced. They just don't last. Pat Sullivan here. I have Gutter Helmet on my home and business, and it has no holes, slots, or screens. It keeps the debris out and the water in. Since 1981, Gutter Helmet has been America's #1 choice for gutter protection. And this is a great time of year to call Gutter Helmet of Central Indiana, because right now, Gutter Helmet is offering a 15% discount plus 12 months no interest financing if paid in full within 12 months. Call 800-5HELMET, that's 800-5HELMET, to schedule a free estimate. 15% off is good through the end of June. Restrictions apply and cannot be combined with other offers. Call Gutter Helmet today at 800-5HELMET or go to gutterhelmetindy.com and never clean your gutters again.
Are you dealing with foot, knee, hip, or back pain? Well, it sounds like you could use a spring in your step. Hi, this is Phoebe with the Good Feet store, and I've got just the thing to help you spring forward into comfort. Good Feet's unique, patented 3-step arch support system is designed to reduce pressure on your joints to keep you feeling energized all day long, even when you're running on an hour's less sleep. With less pressure on your joints, you'll also experience less pain and discomfort too. When you visit the Good Feet store, we'll take time with you to figure out what you need on your free personalized fitting. You can also take all the time you need to walk in-store to feel the Good Feet difference personalized for your feet, your shoes, and your lifestyle. Most of our customers say they feel relief immediately, and you can too. Make your appointment today at goodfeet.com. Don't just live with the pain. Discover your options and spring into comfort at the Good Feet store. Come in today for your free personalized fitting and test walk. We're in your neighborhood. Visit goodfeet.com to find the location nearest to you.
Puccini's Pizza, Pasta, Puccini's. 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 Puccini's Pizza, Pasta, Puccini's.
Downtown Indy's Fourth Fest, presented by UA Local 440 on the Indiana War Memorial Grounds, kicks off with a street party featuring live music, a kids zone, great local food, and more 6 to 10 p.m. Then fireworks with an amazing grand finale thanks to the Indiana Fever and WNBA All-Star Committee.
The street party is brought to you by Indiana Donor Network and Donate Life Indiana. One organ and tissue donor can save 8 lives and heal 75 more. Sign up at donatelifeindiana.org and talk to your family about your decision.
For more info, go to downtownindy.org.
Big Joe here for your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer, B&W HVAC Plumbing and Electrical.
With a B&W Premier Club membership, you'll stay ahead of breakdowns and costly repairs. Our members get routine maintenance, priority scheduling, and exclusive discounts, saving you money and keeping your family comfortable all season long. Visit bplusw.com or call 317-214-0108 for more information.
B&W HVAC Plumbing and Electrical, your American Standard dealer since 1961.
Hey, it's Mike Rowe, and if you want to do business with a company that actually stands for something, switch to Pure Talk. I did. Sure, I appreciate being on America's most dependable 5G network with unlimited talk and text for just $20 a month. But what I really appreciate is Pure Talk's commitment to our military and to our skilled workforce. That matters to me. Save 50% off your first month when you dial pound 250 and say keyword Mike Rowe. Pure Talk, a wireless company that actually stands for something.
Coming up in 2 minutes from the Technology Recycler Studios, how Game 7 went in the NBA Finals. A bunch of evidence markers and crime scene tape along Monument Circle this morning. I'll tell you why and what forecasters are saying about the heat wave overtaking Indiana. After Fox News, you're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1, Indianapolis. It's 8 o'clock.
Iran threatens more retaliation. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
Iran reaffirms its inherent right to self-defense and will strongly defend its great nation.
That's Reza Najafi, Iran's envoy to the UN's atomic watchdog, after their ambassador to the UN said the U.S. crossed a very big red line, bombing 3 nuclear facilities over the weekend, vowing a proportionate response. Congressman Rick Crawford chairs the House Intelligence Committee and worries about terrorism, telling the Fox News Rundown podcast.
Things like cyber. Iranians have a history of cyber attacks, and they're pretty good at it. So that's a concern. We know that there are cells in various countries around the world.
The U.S. Embassy in Qatar has told Americans in that country to shelter in place till further notice as Israel keeps up the attacks today.
The Israelis say they've fired some 100 missiles over the past 2 hours. Among the targets hit, they have followed up the U.S. strikes at the Fordo nuclear facility, hitting an access road at the Fordo nuclear facility, preventing the Iranians from going back there. They hit command centers for the Revolutionary Guard.
That's Fox's Mike Tobin in Tel Aviv. Another Iranian missile hit Israel today, doing damage, but nobody was hurt. President Trump mentioned a possible regime change for Iran on Truth Social, also posting U.S. airstrikes on Iran's nuclear sites caused monumental damage, and he'll meet with his national security team later today. It's going to be really hot outside again in much of the U.S. today and tomorrow. Heat advisories and or warnings from Wisconsin to Texas to much of the East Coast. Heat emergencies declared in some cities.
We have a heat warning for New York City down towards D.C. up into Boston, where temperatures are going to surpass 100 degrees with the heat indices.
Fox meteorologist Janice Dean. Thunder struck in the NBA.
OKC!
They're celebrating Oklahoma City's championship. The Thunder won the NBA title, beating the Indiana Pacers in Game 7. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander named the Finals MVP.
We have a team full of competitors. And we did what it took this year to be champions, and we deserve this. We rose to the moment, and here we are.
America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
The season is over. Your radar is clear. It's 77 degrees in downtown Indianapolis. It's not going to stop there. We're going up to 96 today with the heat advisory in effect for at least the next 24 hours. I'm Ryan Hedrick. Here's what's trending at 8:02.
This was a great series. I'm so proud of our players. I'm so proud of our organization. Our fans showed up big time tonight.
That's Indiana Pacers head coach Rick Carlisle speaking after the team's season ended in Oklahoma, falling to the Thunder in Game 7 of the NBA Finals. Tyrese Halliburton going down with an injury, and he never made it back.
What happened with Tyrese is just all of our hearts dropped. He authored one of the great individual playoff runs in the history of the NBA.
And the team has not said exactly what the injury is. It's a leg injury. Halliburton's father told ESPN and ABC that his son suffered an Achilles injury. Last night on Monument Circle,
numerous persons have been detained. Their involvement is unclear at this time. It'll be determined as the investigation progresses.
That's IMPD officer Drew Brown talking about a shooting that left 3 people injured early this morning right outside of the radio station.
And we're still in the early phases of this investigation, and we have a very large scene as well.
And IMPD says several people were detained. They're still looking into this. We expect to hear more soon. Blistering heat is here.
We would recommend any work outside to be done earlier in the morning, not later in the afternoon when the temperatures will be 15 or 20 degrees higher.
Alex McGinnis at the National Weather Service talking about a week-long stretch, and we are now in a heat wave.
Temperatures are not going to be getting so much close to 100 as, has happened in the past in Indiana. The bigger deal with this heat wave is going to be humidity, which will be marked by very warm mornings with low temperatures, in the mid-70s for several days in a row.
And we're there already. He says just take it slow and drink plenty of water. A man turned himself in after a shooting this weekend in Fishers. Here's Jake McDaniel.
Fishers police say they arrived on Benton Drive near State Road 37 and East 141st Street after 3:45.
Our officers found a victim who had been holding an infant child. She'd been shot multiple times.
Fishers Public Information Officer Sergeant Angela Ellison says Giovanni De Jesus ran off, but officers got information about him and the vehicle he was in from witnesses.
We were able to immediately render aid to the mother and child.
The woman is recovering in the hospital and the child had minor injuries. De Jesus is now in the Hamilton County Jail. Jake McDaniel, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
Gas prices up and down. $3.09 a gallon is where they sit here in Indianapolis. You could get gas a little bit cheaper on the west side if you travel along West 10th Street, says Gas Buddy. I'm Ryan Hedrick on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com. At 8:05, traffic on the 5s. Here's Matt Bear.
Northbound 65, pockets slow through the construction. Southport Road up to the south, split and delayed by 6 minutes. East side, northbound 465, slow from 70 up to Penn Pike. And a crash downtown. It's New York at New Jersey. Traffic sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Protect your auto, home, and business with Progressive. And get 24/7 coverage. See if you can save at Progressive.com or call 1-800-PROGRESSIVE. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Ryan Morse, Wish TV meteorologist. What's going on?
A heat advisory in place now until Friday. We continue with the sunny, hot, and humid conditions for today. High temperatures checking in the mid-90s. Indianapolis may make a run at a record high. Our record high for today is 96. Set back in 1930. For tonight, mostly clear, low temperatures in the mid-70s. For Tuesday, mostly sunny, hot, and humid. Spotty afternoon showers and storms are possible. High temperatures getting into the mid-90s. It's worth noting with each afternoon through this week, when you factor in the humid air, the heat index value going to feel like the triple digits from now until Friday in the afternoon.
Yeah, I believe the meteorological phrasing utilized, the language there is, that sucks.
That's a good professional opinion right there.
Right. The reason I never became a meteorologist, pronouncing meteorologist or meteorological, both difficult.
Tough to balance.
No, yeah, please, that's how you get in. You knock on the door in the back room, what's the code? And they say it's meteorological, and that's how they're able to separate the wheat from the chaff.
They hand you the job right then and there.
Man, I'm not saying that's true of you, but for some people who do weather, that happens to be fact. Yeah, you want to go through naming those people right now? Let's go on. Ryan, you and me, let's rank the worst meteorologists in Indianapolis right now. Who's top on your list?
It might be this guy, Marcus Bailey, a little attitude issue. And then Tara. No, I'm just kidding.
No. We didn't know you were kidding. And as far as we're concerned, this is exactly what you said, and we're about to go to print. So, you've just said worst meteorologists in Indianapolis. That's Marcus Bailey and Tara Hastings. Honestly, I thought it was rude myself, but hey, you be you. It's fine. We'll take it from here. I love that he had to tell us he was kidding. We know. We know. You don't have to do that with us. We're all friends here. We can all bring it.
God.
Right. Seriously, producer Carl, get that story up right now. Let's burn him to the ground. Let's make that happen. Thank you very much. Ryan Morse, Wish TV meteorologist. He's a heck of a guy. It's 76 degrees already, and the humidity is there in the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. The time is 8:08. On the bombing raid that took place against Iranian nuclear sites over the weekend. Coming up, Tony Katz, 93 WIBC. Good morning. Buy guns, buy ammo, and get trained. You've heard me say it numerous times, and you've heard me say more than any other, maybe more than any other radio host in America, certainly more than any radio host or media folk in the state of Indiana. If you show up to your house of worship unarmed, you're just begging for a problem. You are a soft target. And if you are not armed, well, you are making a giant mistake. And if your faith leader says you cannot be armed, fire that faith leader because they don't want you to live to see the next Saturday or Sunday service. One person injured in Wayne, Michigan. This was at a church Sunday morning. A suspect opening fire on the congregation mid-service. Wayne police reported to an active shooter at what's known as Cross Point Church in Wayne. Officers determined that a security guard for the church shot and killed the suspect. One victim was shot in the leg. If you are not prepared to defend yourself or the ones that you love, I don't know what it is you're doing. I don't understand how you can go. No, I take that back. The people who say you can't be armed at services are just wrong, and the people who don't understand to be armed at their place of worship are asking to get hurt. You can ask to get hurt. Why are you asking for other people to get hurt? The place of worship is a soft target because the people who want to hurt you don't care. You think they're concerned about the one cop you have stationed outside? Well, we have people who open the doors for everybody, so that's how we're safe. Would you stop it? Full teams that are trained, ready to go. Volunteers, whatever they may be. Has to be. You have to consider it as part of what the dues cover. This is the world we live in. And by the way, the security team, still not enough. Every parishioner. I have gone to services before. They're like, hey, let the officer know if you're armed. No, I don't need to let the officer know if I'm armed. Imagine everybody is armed and let anybody who wants to do us harm know that it's going to be a bad day for them. That's the answer. People who want to be soft targets have soft minds. I don't think they should be in positions of power at all. Tony Katz, 93 WIBC. Good morning.
Type 1 and Type 2 diabetes are not the same. So why are they often treated like they are? Join us for our free Holistic Integration educational seminar, Diabetes Decoded, a holistic look at Type 1 and Type 2 diabetes. Wednesday, June 25th at 6:30 p.m. You'll hear from Dr. Robert Prather, host of the Voice of Health Radio.
The less you have to take of the insulin, the longer you live and the healthier you are. Almost every single patient that we've treated with type 1 diabetes have been able to cut their insulin levels in half.
The Holistic Integration free educational seminar, Diabetes Decoded, featuring Dr. Robert Prather, Wednesday, June 25th at 6:30 p.m. Those who attend will receive a discounted autonomic nervous system test for only $49, which measures key indicators that affect your blood sugar, energy, and inflammation. Reserve your seat by calling 317-848-8888. 8048 or online at thevoiceofhealthradio.com.
Summertime's here, so get a hot summertime deal at Tom Roush Lincoln.
Get Lincoln's employee pricing on most all new Lincolns. Get up to $20,000 off select 2024 Navigators. Up to $8,000 off select 2024 Lincoln Nautilus. Come and see why the Roush family has served the community for over 53 years at Tom Roush Lincoln.
Navigator MSRP 105,195. Nautilus MSRP 60,195. 2025 Navigators excluded from employee pricing. Subject to credit approval. See dealer for complete offer details.
Mike Rowe here with a quick question. Is your concrete sinking? Whether it's your driveway, sidewalk, or patio, those uneven surfaces are not just ugly, they're dangerous. That's where Indiana Foundation Service comes in, a groundworks company. They use state-of-the-art concrete lifting solutions to prevent tripping hazards. Schedule your free inspection at indianafoundation.com/row. And while you're there, check out my latest dirty job. It's a good one.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details. Sometimes an identity threat is a ring of professional hackers. And sometimes it's an overworked accountant who forgot to encrypt their connection while sending bank details.
I need a coffee.
And you need LifeLock because your info is in endless places. It only takes one mistake to expose you to identity theft. LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points a second. If your identity is stolen, we'll fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
Life moves fast.
We move fast.
Get moving fast.
It's not business as usual.
So does the news.
I could be a stupid person to say, oh, no, we don't want a free plane.
Decisions made today.
The United States and China announcing a 90-day pause.
Could impact you tomorrow.
Goldman Sachs adjusting its 2025 economic outlook.
The issues, some solutions.
What's next?
I'll let you know at the appropriate time.
Got to stay tuned.
We're already tracking it.
Strong borders.
Stay in the know while you're on the go on 93 WIBC.
The Attorney General's office wants to put your money back in your pocket. Visit indianaunclaimed.gov and search for yourself, your loved ones, or your business. It's fast, easy, and free.
Traffic on the 5s. Matt Bear, what's going on?
Looking at northbound 65, slow in pockets from South Keystone Avenue onto the South Split. Northbound 465 on the northwest side, slow from 86th Street up to 865. Now we have a stall. It's eastbound 465 near I-69 right before, in fact. And it's on the exit ramp to I-69, causing stop-and-go traffic back to South Keystone Avenue. Traffic sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Protect your auto. Protect your auto, home, and business with Progressive and get 24/7 coverage. See if you can save at Progressive.com or call 1-800-PROGRESSIVE. I'm Matt Bear on the 5s at WIBC Traffic.
72 degrees in the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. The time is 8:16.
Put your head on my shoulder.
I'm not sure how this became Gary Dick theme song music, but sure. Because whenever you think of Inside Indiana Business and Gary Dick, you think of Cuddle Me. Most people do. Tony Katz, 93 WIBC. Good morning. Gary Dick, InsideIndianaBusiness.com, on the Twitter X at IIB. Not the ending for the Pacers that anybody wanted, not for the final with the Pacers losing to the Oklahoma City Thunder in Game 7 of the NBA Finals, not for Tyrese Halliburton and that Achilles injury, clearly an Achilles injury. I'm calling it. The Pacers haven't said it, but I have eyes, and you could see it, and it's just ugly as can be. The impact economically to Indianapolis has been very, very impressive. You sat down with Chris Gall. What is the latest there?
Yeah, I got some numbers from Visit Indy's Chris Gall over the weekend on the show, Tony. And we actually talked with an economist from IU Indianapolis about a week ago, and he pegged each home game during the playoffs at about a $6 million economic impact. So that's one piece. But some of the other things, kind of softer things to measure, like national brand building, for example, the estimate is over 300,000 national and international stories about the Pacers in Indianapolis hosting playoff games. They peg that value at $6 billion earned media coverage, but also hotel rooms, hotel rates. As you look at them, according to Visit Indy, downtown hotels were commanding about a 34% higher nightly rate timed with home playoff games this season, and that's kind of found money too for those properties, because not a lot of people expected the Pacers to run to the NBA Finals as well. So hotel revenue up big time. Foot traffic, just general foot traffic visiting downtown attractions, up 14% compared to the previous year. So there are some numbers to go along with the kind of that civic pride boost. We saw so many of the watch parties, whether it was Gainbridge Fieldhouse or Carmel or wherever the case might be, the community coming together. So it was a special run. Didn't end up, obviously, as we all had hoped it would, but certainly a big impact for Indianapolis. And now, no rest for the wicked, as Indianapolis gets set to host the WNBA All-Star Game here in just a few weeks.
So when something like this takes place, do the people who have been pushing for more hotel rooms, wanting to build more hotels, and we've got things now happening all over the place, is this to them a proof of concept, or is this more of, well, you need to have these kinds of events to make the hotels worthwhile, otherwise maybe we're getting to a level of overkill here?
No, interesting question, Tony, and I think to an extent it is that proof of concept, if you will, as you look at Indianapolis, and obviously the city has a great reputation as a big event host city, has hosted the biggest sporting events in the world here. And as you look at events like an NBA Finals, the WNBA All-Star Game, the U.S. swimming trials, which we just won as a city, again, coming up in 2028, those kinds of events, not to mention the conventions, which these bigger conventions, and Indianapolis continues to compete now with the biggest convention markets in the country, those conventions needing to have that space, needing to, as a city, being able to host multiple events at the same time. So I think you put all those things together, and those folks who have been certainly promoting and advocating for more hotel space, this gives them added fuel, I think, without question.
Talking to Gary Dick inside IndianaBusiness.com, on the Twitter X at IIB. There's been some interesting conversations about universities, specifically that, you see Purdue, and they're holding rates firm and keeping that freeze on, and they're talking about their expansion, talking about their growth, their whole rather ambitious plan for Indianapolis. Quite literally, Purdue wants to change the skyline. Hey, IU, you want to put your logo up everywhere? That's really cool. We're going to change how the city looks, is a very Purdue thing to do. But you discussed the fact that even with Purdue, Ivy Tech, they're cutting staff. University of Southern Indiana might be raising tuition. Notre Dame discussing a need to cut its overall budget. What is going on with universities in Indiana?
Well, these are challenging times, no doubt about it. You mentioned some of the state schools, Tony. Ivy Tech mentioned the need or the intent to cut about 200 positions statewide, and looking at budget cuts there as state funding, the 5% cut requested by or in the state budget that state universities will have to colleges and universities need to cut 5%. So we're going to continue to see this take place. You look at Notre Dame, a private institution, just came out on Friday announcing to staff plans to cut 2.5% from its budget, also to put new building projects on hold on campus for at least the next year. And that relates more to some of the things happening at the federal level, the potential of increased taxes on endowments at universities, as well as potential research funding cuts as well. So it's across the board. Public colleges and universities, as well as private institutions, are needing to tighten their belts and then some. And that means some tough decisions. IU has announced plans to cut $200 million from its budget over the next couple of years, including, I think, $100 million in 2026. So I think we'll continue to see more of that as universities take a harder look at look at their budgets and where they can cut.
Before I let you go, we talk about these cuts, and then there's a question of how many kids out of high school are going in to the university system, and certainly whether or not the university system is providing something that is of value to these kids. I think that's a big question. So on this concept of value, I move it out of the universities and I move it into business. And you have the story at IIB, InsideIndianaBusiness.com, about the Office of Entrepreneurship and Innovation. This leads me to a conversation about the IEDC, the Economic Development Group, and how not only was there that reporting from Hannah News Service about questions regarding Elevate Ventures and how they are actually operating, but now you have the governor, Mike Braun, changing the board of the IEDC. I'll ask you as simply as one can ask it, what the hell is going on around here?
Well, a lot's going on. A lot of question marks surrounding the Indiana Economic Development Corporation. You mentioned, and not long after Governor Braun took office, certainly he expressed questions, concerns, if you will, about the operation of the Indiana Economic Development Corporation, and conducted an investigation to look at how things are operating there. And as you mentioned, this continues as he's totally restructuring or redoing, if you will, the board of directors at the IEDC. So change is on the way, I think, literally in terms of the structure of the Indiana Economic Development Corporation, which is the state's lead economic development agency, and also from a leadership standpoint. So the entire board, as we understand it, the entire board will be replaced, and we should be seeing some of those names in terms of new board members as early as today.
Is that the change that's needed? Meaning that, do we get a benefit in the state of Indiana from this development group at all?
I mean, I think there's little doubt that there is benefit from it. I think the question on the table and the question that the governor is putting out there is the way economic development is executed. Is there a different way? The governor during the campaign has talked a lot about looking at rural economic development statewide in some of the smaller rural areas around the state. I mean, if you look at performance in terms of the number of companies, the number of jobs, investment, IEDC has put up some pretty big numbers over the past number of years. So we'll see how it goes. It seems to be little question, Tony, that it's gonna be executed in a different way, I guess is the simplest way to put it. Economic development at the state level is going to be different in the way that it is done. We'll see how it fares and how it compares with how it's been done the last few years.
That is right there, Gary Dick, InsideIndianaBusiness.com, on the Twitter X at IIB. Matt Bear has traffic. What's up, Matt?
Eastbound 465 on the north side. That's a stall on the exit to I-69 as it's backed up to Keystone Avenue, especially in those exit lanes, and we are slow, delayed 20 minutes if that's the direction of your choosing. Crash downtown New York Street at New Jersey. Northbound 65 slows after Keystone Avenue to the south split. That's because of construction. Traffic sponsored by B Window. Right now, B Window is extending their employee discount to you. Get 55% off all products and services plus 18 months. No interest or payments. Trust a local. Trust employee owned. Trust your home to bwindow.com. I'm Ben Bear on the 5s at WIBC Traffic.
Hey, this is Rob.
And this is Casey.
Did Barron Trump earn $40 million from his dad's crypto venture?
Join us Monday, 9 until noon on 93 WIBC.
You saw the storms that have come through, and you know that those storms meant a lot of people were out of power. What's your plan? If the power goes out, how are you going to keep your family safe? How are you going to keep your business up and running? How are you going to keep all the food in the fridge from spoiling? What's your plan? The plan right now is to call Generator Supercenter. Talk to them about getting a free estimate on a Generac automatic standby generator for your home. You can't put a price on the peace of mind you get during a bad storm when you have a Generac automatic standby generator at your home. Generator Supercenter is the nation's #1 Generac generator dealer, and a Generac automatic standby generator will just click on when the power goes out. And if you're not at home, you don't have to worry. Everything is going to be all right. Listen, the power grid is old. Storms can knock out the power. Dear Lord, ice on the lines. It happens in Indiana. Can do the same. With Generator Supercenter, you have peace of mind. Let them show you how it's going to work. A Generac automatic standby generator, how it's going to click on and keep your family safe and secure. And financing is available right now with low monthly payments. Stop by the showroom or call for a free estimate. They're at 96 and 69, easy to get to, or call Generator Supercenter today. 317-827-0808. Tell them Tony Katz sent you. 317-827-0808. Generator Supercenter, 827-0808.
Lately, the market has been making some big moves, and not all in the right direction. If you've been watching the numbers and wondering what it all means for your retirement, you're not alone. At Howard Bailey Financial, we plan for times like this. The truth is, a volatile day on Wall Street can feel a lot different when you're getting closer to retirement. That's why right now is the right time to take a fresh look at your portfolio, and Howard Bailey can help. Are you taking on more risk than you realize? Are you diversified in a way that makes sense for where you are in life? Find out today with the help of our free Market Volatility Guide. Visit retirewithpurpose.com to download your free guide and learn more about what market shifts may mean for you. That's retirewithpurpose.com. Together, let's make sure your plan is built to weather whatever comes next. Howard Bailey Securities, LLC is an independent financial services firm and uses a variety of different investment strategies. Please see disclosures at howardbailey.com.
Applied Innovation customer Alicia Staley, office manager for McEnany Roofing, has reduced dependency on paper with a document management solution from Applied Innovation.
So it makes looking for documents pretty much effortless.
With this paperless solution and improved workflow, you recommend Applied Innovation?
Oh, yes. I like to talk to a lot of different people. I'm the social butterfly, so as much as I can spread how wonderful they are, I definitely do. And I've never had such prompt customer service and care like this with any other company.
Your slogan, Innovative Solution Since 1985, is perfect for your Applied Innovation partnership.
There's a lot of benefits. I have to say, number one, definitely a great partnership. Two, financial-wise, we have saved a lot of money by signing up with Applied Innovation.
Start your partnership and save money. Call Applied Innovation today, 800-521-0983, or visit appliedinnovation.com.
Hey, it's Mike Rowe, and if you want to do business with a company that actually stands for something, switch to Pure Talk. I did. Sure, I appreciate being on America's most dependable 5G network with unlimited talk and text for just $20 a month, but what I really appreciate is Pure Talk's commitment to our military and to our skilled workforce. That matters to me. Save 50% off your first month when you dial pound 250 and say keyword Mike Rowe. Pure Talk, a wireless company that actually stands for something.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
A warning to Americans. Your radar is clear. It's 77 degrees in downtown Indianapolis. We're going up to 96. There is a heat advisory in effect for at least the next 24 hours. I'm Ryan Hedrick, and here's what's trending at 8:31. The State Department is issuing an alert for the next 3 months for Americans to be cautious worldwide.
They released a statement saying, quote, the conflict between Israel and Iran has resulted in disruptions to travel and periodic closures of airspace all across the Middle East. There is potential for demonstrations against U.S. citizens and interests abroad. So this comes as the threat of terrorist groups, lone actor terrorists, and other violent extremists plan possible attacks.
And that's Fox's Ashley Strohmeyer. About 15 minutes ago, the U.S. Embassy in Qatar ordered all Americans to shelter in place with rising tensions in Iran. The Supreme Court could be entering its final week of this term with several major opinions still yet to be determined.
Among those, a challenge to President Trump's executive order that would deny birthright citizenship to children born in the U.S. to parents in the country illegally. A First Amendment case over a Texas law requiring age verification for websites with adult content is also yet to be resolved, along with a challenge to a Maryland school district from parents who want to opt out their children from reading some books about same-sex relationships and gender identity.
That's Fox's Jared Halpern in Washington, D.C. this morning. Get ready for some serious heat this week across the state of Indiana. Most of the work week will bring very hot temperatures. Alex McGinnis at the National Weather Service, Indianapolis, says when a heat advisory is in effect like it is now, people should watch out for things like heavy sweating, nausea, dizziness, and feeling really thirsty.
If you find yourself in any symptoms like that, you want to move to a cooler area. You want to wear loose clothing. You always want to have cool water, hydration, drink fluids earlier in the day, even if you're not thirsty, just to hedge your bets.
And he says there is a chance for showers and thunderstorms every day starting on Tuesday. A country music icon joining the Motley Crue for a song that raises money for charity.
Dolly Parton has teamed up with Motley Crue for a new version of their 1985 classic song, Home Sweet Home. The track will appear on the band's upcoming collection From the Beginning out September 12th. The same day they launch a 10-show Vegas residency at Dolby Live at Park MGM. Parton called the experience an honor and a joy, saying she was thrilled to join the band for their 40th anniversary edition of the song. A portion of the single's proceeds will go to Covenant House, a nonprofit supporting homeless youth. Michelle Polino, Fox News.
Sports on WIBC, brought to you by Ball State Athletics. Visit ballstatesports.com. Last night, in Game 7 of the NBA Finals, the Indiana Pacers came out hot. Tyrese Halliburton was rolling, and then everything changed.
Topping out of the near corner. Up top, Halliburton falls down, turns it over, and this will lead to Gilgeous-Alexander to the other end, where he sends it to Williams for a dunk. And Halliburton is face down in the Indiana offensive end. The trainer, Josh Corbeil, rushes out to take a look.
And that's Mark Boyle on the Elevance Health Radio Network. Halliburton was done for the night, and the Oklahoma City Thunder took full advantage, beating the Indiana Pacers 103-91 to win the NBA title. After the game, Pacers head coach Rick Carlisle talked about the season and gave props to Halliburton for everything he accomplished.
He authored one of the great individual playoff runs in the history of the NBA with dramatic play after dramatic play. It was just something that no one's ever seen.
And now the team hasn't said exactly what the injury is. It is a leg injury. Halliburton's father says it's an Achilles injury. I'm Ryan Hedrick on The Level on the go and at WIBC.com at 8:35. Traffic on the 5s. Here's Matt Baer.
Yeah, Ryan, looking at northbound 65, pockets is slow through the construction, Southport Road up to the South Split. And we have a stall on the northeast side causing so much trouble right now. Eastbound 465 going to I-65, stall on the exit ramp has us backed up to Keystone Avenue. 7-minute delay for those exiting to I-69. Looking at a crash downtown. It's New York at New Jersey. Traffic sponsored by B Window. Right now, B Window is extending their employee discount to you. Get 55% off all products and services, plus 18 months no interest or payments. Trust a local, trust employee-owned, trust your home to bwindow.com. I'm Matt Baer on the 5s at WIBC Traffic.
I'm sorry, 76 degrees. Didn't know how to say that for a second. In the American Standard Cooling Weather Center, the time is 8:36.
Trust employee-owned. B Windows extending our employee discount to you. Up to 55% off, plus 18 months, no interest, no payments. Trust your home to B.
How bad is it? Don't sugarcoat it. Give it to me straight. Want coffee?
I think I need some coffee.
Time to fill up on the news. Tony Katz, 93 WIBC. Good morning. What is going on? Good to be here. That is very little movement. Dow futures are down 41. NASDAQ futures are up 5. So they're not too concerned about war in the Middle East? Not concerned about the blocking of the Straits of Hormuz, which is the move that is concerning to people. Iran, if they're attacked and their nuclear sites destroyed, they will block the Straits of Hormuz. You got to look at a map and see how perilous this is as oil moves out of the Persian Gulf area. 1/5, they say, of the world's oil. I think it's actually a larger amount than that, but things could have shifted, and I could be wrong on it. That Iran could simply take its navy and create a blockade. You figure out how you're going to get through. But the more they do that, the more they create problems with the rest of the world. How much oil of that goes to China from Iran? So we will see how this develops and whether or not we'll see an increase in oil prices. Right now, we have $73.88 on the West Texas crude, $77.08 on the Brent. So the West Texas, coming out of the U.S., has pretty much held since the initial preemptive strike from Israel began. The Brent's up a little because it had been at the 75. So 77 is definitely some movement. But right now, just nothing. Nothing going on of any significant nature. The 10-year Treasury at 4.346. Now, there was some very interesting data from E.J. Antoni over at the Heritage Foundation. And if you follow me at TonyKatz.com, it is all there as part of the show sheet. I put out daily. Hey, here's what we're going to be talking about on the show. Here's what everybody in the country is going to be talking about. We just have it first. And E.J. Antoni, economist, took a look at two things: the increase in retail sales in the Biden years and household net worth. And what he determined was that the entire 18.2% increase in retail sales over the last 4 years was inflation. The actual volume of sales fell 1.0% or 1% over that time, which means 4 years, zero progress. I mean, he's got the chart. You can take a look at it for yourself. And then he took a look at household net wealth. It rose 24% during the 4 years, quarter 21 to quarter 25, meaning let's call it the Biden presidency, but increased just 2.4% after adjusting for inflation. 90% of the increase was higher prices, not real wealth. Now, it still doesn't get me to a place where I can explain why it is I saw the shopping malls full. Unless, of course, well, people thought they had more money. People believed they had more money. But because they were getting a higher wage, but the prices were higher, and they never really put together one thing and another thing. They never saw how these things were in conflict. It's possible. I still believe in the doom spending thing, up and down, left and right. And I'm telling you, since nobody's talking about the credit card debt bomb, everything's a bomb, so you got to call it a bomb. I'm going to keep talking about the credit card debt bomb. Bad things are at play. But these are really interesting numbers. Very, very interesting numbers from E.J. Antoni. That nothing good happened in the Biden years. And everything they told you about the Biden years, everything they said, oh, it's great, you don't understand how good this economy is, you don't understand how terrific it is, was a fraud. We heard this from people in Indiana. We heard this from people around the country. We heard this from the then Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen. We heard this from the guy who was running the White House economic team, Jared Bernstein. That fool. Fools in Indiana, fools in the country. Bad stuff. We will see if tariffs has a further effect on preventing a turnaround. Tony Katz, 93 WIBC. Good morning. Home sales activity, well, it's good, but it's not great. So many homes have been properly marketed are just sitting on the market. Hiring the wrong sales agent will cost you time and money. So hire the expert who maximizes equity and sells fast. That expert is Mark Dietel. Maybe what you want is a fast, guaranteed, no-hassle home sale, but don't want to give up hard-earned equity to do it. You got to talk to Mark Dietel, the only real estate expert trusted and recommended with the sale of your home. Mark Dietel guarantees your home sold at a mutually agreed upon price and deadline, or he will buy it. All you do is pick the move date. No long-term contracts. You can cancel at any time. Kevin and Angela in Greenwood said the big home was too much and it was time for Dad to move into a maintenance-free community, but we needed cash from the home to fund the change. We reached out to the Mark Dietel team, who helped with the entire process from selling belongings to prepping the home for maximum value. We went on the market and sold for $5,000 over asking price in less than 7 days. Call the local Indianapolis agent, trusted and recommended, the agent who guarantees your home sold or he'll buy it. That is Mark Dietel. Talk to Mark Dietel today. 317-755-4232. Tell them Tony Katz sent you. Mark's a good dude. You're going to enjoy the conversation. Go online and get all the details as well. That's markdietel.com. Mark Dietel, D-I-E-T-E-L. markdietel.com.
Kendall and Casey.
How was your trip?
Yeah, I completely checked out as I was approaching Indiana and I was getting re-familiar with everything that had been going on. So the lieutenant governor said something controversial. The secretary of state's on another trip in a foreign country. And we have another state rep that allegedly had a cocktail or two and got behind the wheel. So pretty much status quo.
Kendall and Casey. Weekdays 9 till noon on 93 WIBC and WIBC.com.
Sometimes I struggle to get to sleep. My body stopped for the day, but my mind is still running. So I take ZzzQuil.
ZzzQuil, the world's #1 sleep aid brand, has a range of non-habit-forming products to fit you and your family's needs. Invest in a great night's sleep for the best you tomorrow.
I'm awake and ready to take on anything.
Better days start with ZzzQuil nights. Explore our products at ZzzQuil.com. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Busy day? No problem. The WIBC Mashup podcast catches you up with standout moments from your favorite shows. Fresh episodes every weekday. One click, all the good stuff. Get your daily fix. Search WIBC Mashup wherever you get your podcasts.
Traffic on the 5s, and Matt Bear, what do you know?
It's northbound 65 still slow coming up from Keystone Avenue to the south split because of that construction zone. Then on the northeast side, eastbound 465 with the attitude this morning. First, we have a stall on the exit to I-69. And then before that, as you're traveling eastbound, it's before Allisonville Road, where we have another stall in the right lane. Traffic stop and go back to Keystone Avenue. So that right lane causing us trouble. Crash downtown New York and New Jersey. Traffic sponsored by B Window. Right now, B Window is extending their employee discount to you. Get 55% off all products and services, plus 18 months, no interest or payments. Trust a local, trust employee owned. Trust your home to bwindow.com. I'm Matt Bear on the 5s at WIBC Traffic.
72 degrees. It might be warmer by now. Yeah, it is 76 degrees. Good gosh. Guys, honestly, be careful. Stay hydrated. Check on a neighbor. Check on your pets. Would you? That's a smart thing to do. 76 degrees in the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. The time is 8:46. Oh, I know this too. Tony Katz at 93 WIBC. Good morning. Good to be with you. It's time to play America's favorite game. What the heck is that television theme song? Here is how we play our game. Producer Carl has picked the television theme song of yesteryear. I have to guess what it is. The chat room is already guessing. I think some people got the intro confused and maybe thought that was Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous. That's not it. That's not it. You know what I'm going to do? Just because it's always good to hear what Matt Bear has to say, I'm going to phone a friend. And Matt Bear, what is this television theme song?
That's Soul Train, Tony.
This sounds like Soul Train.
I swear to you, we don't rehearse anything. Now admittedly, this one is tough because, like, we know we've heard it, but we don't know where we've heard it from. So I am going to go with the chat room and say that this is the theme to the show Hotel.
Yeah,
Bravo.
they're totally using Shazam.
Oh, you think he's Shazamming?
Yeah.
You think he's Shazamming? Because that's not right. Hotel, I didn't watch Hotel. That was early 80s, right?
I'm not sure about it. It's an Aaron Spelling production.
Right, hold on. Actually, mid-80s, 83 to 88, with James Brolin and Connie Selica. Wow, I didn't realize you were such a fan of James Brolin. Now, I will tell you that you can turn that off. I will tell you that you missed it. That you missed it because now I've got one for you.
Oh no.
And I know I'm going to use it up, but there's a reason for it. Can you name this television theme song? There's a reason.
Oh, it's Letterman.
Producer Carl, what is that theme song?
It's Letterman. Late Night with David Letterman.
The David Letterman Show launches on NBC June 23rd, 1980. "45 years ago today. Who's Your Boy Makes Good."
Yeah, I didn't go with that because we've already done that song before.
We've done Letterman?
Yeah.
We have?
Yeah. You got to check the listings. Sponsorships available.
What I know is if he just hadn't gone so politically awful and ridiculous in those last years, I'd be much happier with the man. Oh, such a shame. Just don't let your politics ruin your life. That's all you have to do. Just don't do it. Entertain people. Johnny was very clear. Very, very, very clear. Just entertain. Don't think that your platform is more than it is. Right? If you're doing late night TV, don't think it's more than it is. If you're doing radio, don't think it's more than it is. You sound weird. Super duper, super duper weird. On Tony Katz today at noon, I will have more of what took place in Iran and what the ramifications are for the United States and for the globe. I will have that for you. Plus, what else? There was another story that I wanted to get to, which was I talked about the economics. We really need to have a refresher on just how ridiculous and horrific the policies of Bernie Sanders are. But why does he attract so many younger people? And closer to home, the story from Kirk Darling at WIBC.com, Alex Palou with his 6th win in IndyCar. It's nuts. It is nuts stuff. 6 wins, 9 races. There are only 2 people who have had wins this entire IndyCar season. It's crazy. Absolutely nuts. And That story is there. You should give that a read. And as for the Pacers, it stinks to be this close, to not see them get the victory, to see that work and not see that final result. Man, that's rough. And I know what it's like not to achieve some things that you're going for on this stage. Certainly, it's different, but everyone's goal is their goal, and I don't know how they respond. This is now the great question: how do you respond? How do you respond from Halliburton's leg injury? Clearly, an Achilles tendon that ruptured. I don't think there's any question there of what took place. Although I'll wait for the Pacers to make that official determination. What comes next? What comes next from the Pacers organization when they take a look at this team and ask themselves, did some people not perform in the finals the way they needed to, and therefore they don't come back, or does everybody come back? We go in luxury tax? Well, we're hearing that the answer is yes. What will we see? It's a very interesting question. You know, these are the times to try men's souls. No, these are the moments that a team has to ask itself, what is its plan? Is the Pacers' plan to say, well, that was fun, we'll do it again in another 25 years? Or is their plan to say, that was fun, we need to do this again? Because we've got the core. We have got the plan. We have got the coach. We have got the systemology. Let's go win. We're going to find out. We're going to find out. But the Pacers should not think that this town and this state wasn't absolutely appreciative. This was a good time, and they were a fun watch. And people were into it. And I don't know who invented yes, sirs, but give them a raise. Because it worked. Connected. It was fun to watch this city. Yeah, it's a great place. The problems aside, and the problems are real. And we can change some of those problems by changing some of the people. But great city. And this was fun. And we appreciate it, Pacers. We very much do. And rest up. And we'll be back with you next year. Ain't no question about that. Catch you guys at noon. Matt Bear has got traffic.
Northeast side stall on eastbound 465 between Keystone and Allisonville Road. And the right lane is closed, slowing us down to Keystone. And